My baby.
I'm dying.
My baby.
We're going at it at 110%.
I just want 5 minutes of happiness, please. Just give me 5 minutes.
And they scored.
They did it.
Left, beat left.
What the hell was that?
Oh, yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
What's up, everybody? Zach Burr, Stephen Reichel, Daniel Bakley, the weekly roundup, as always, coming at you live Saturday night. We got playoff football tonight, Stephen. Playoff football, live reactions. Alan Foy of EXP coming on with us here in a little bit. All types of fun. As usual, it's going to be full of shenanigans, Stephen. It always is with us, right? But
absolutely. You know, obviously,
the more people.
The Raiders and Derek Carr just came to the Who Dat Bengals. So the Bengals,
the Bengals won a playoff game for the first time in 30 years. I don't know if that's a good omen or a bad one for 2022, but you know, we'll see. Mr. Bakley's here. But you know, the more people we have with us for the shenanigans, the better. You know, it's just
obviously, like you know, you already mentioned. You know, we're gonna have Alan on. We got Bobo Abannon is returning to the program this week. We got Nathan Manis hopping on. 14-1 UFC bantamweight. You know, obviously UFC's going on tonight. We got all kinds of live sports going on tonight. Gotta have some fun. Me, you, Zach, and you know, obviously got to show the love, right? You know, we're already talking about Alan. Got to show the love. Each episode is doing what, my
always.
friend?
Yeah, you know, and looking to buy and sell a home. If you're looking for a change in career or brokerage, you contact Alan Foy of EXP Realty LLC at 302-682-8820. Visit them at alanfoyexprealty.com. Be on with us a little bit later. He can talk about it a little bit on his own. You got anybody in the chat room, any questions for him, he'll be here. You can talk to him. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button as always. Follow us on all of our E2D radio platforms. We're the best in the business for a reason. Alan's the best in the business with EXP Realty. They just won an award actually for I believe being the best realtor in South Jersey or some type of regional award for their performances at EXP Realty and how booming business has been there. So, you know, maybe we'll have to get Alan and talk about that a little bit when he comes on here in about 30 minutes. But yeah, we got the Eagles Bucks tomorrow, right, Stephen? We talk about live football tonight. The Bills Patriots about to kick off here, but for us, Eagles Bucks, and we wanted, you know, where were we going to go? A lot of different things with the poll question, and you know, try to make it simple for people. If the Eagles are going to win this game, right, and you know, we could debate later, you know, exactly how much of a chance or whatever that we have to win the game. But if we're going to win the game, you know, people keep talking about running the football. We got to run. I think that's a given, right? We kind of like that's been our MO offensively all year long. So instead of talking about what you got to do offensively or what you got to do defensively to win the game, make it simple. You know, offense or defense, which unit's going to be the most important unit? And question is, the Eagles defense will be the biggest key to victory Sunday versus the Bucks. Agree or disagree? Daniel, I'll swing it to you first, since you were the one that kind of you talked about how much the Eagles got to run the football. Are you kind of on the other side of this? You think the Eagles' offense is going to be the key here?
I think the offense needs to get out early, but I do agree with the poll question here because I feel like with them not having Leonard Fournette, they just announced that he's out today. No Ronald Jones and no Gio Bernard. That our defense needs to play up to the standards that we want them to. We got to be able to stop Mike Evans. He's their big playmaker there. I kind of think that you kind of need to allow Rob Gronkowski to catch those passes in the middle because I don't think you're going to be able to kind of stop both of those guys. I think it's more interest to stop Evans. As long as we can stop him and limit their offense to like the small passing game, I feel like
absolutely same playoff games are on now. The Bills and the and the Pats are about to go at it. AFC East rivals going at it. You gotta love it right now. Definitely gotta love it.
Where you been, Samuel? The Bengals. We just said the Bengals just won a playoff game for the first time in 30 years. Yeah,
Reed
the playoffs
the
are
Bucks
on.
by 8. The Bucks
Wild
by
card
8.
weekend.
Listen, I'll say it like this. As far as the poll question, I don't know that they have to be the dominant unit. Like, listen, I've already think I said it already. Like at this point in time, we're playing with house money. What I just want to see is a good game from Jalen Hurts, progression from Jalen Hurts. If we win if we happen to upset Brady, old man River there, love it. Would absolutely love it. I want to see the development too. It's something me and Zach have been hard on this kid this year. This right here, this is the cherry on top for Jalen Hurts. He needs to show playoff smarts. Make the right throws. Don't try to be too much of the hero. We already know what the weather's like to it. I don't want to hear that's going to play into anything. We should be a run football first team. As much as I know the defense will be there, you still have to stop Tom Brady in that offense. With that being said, I still think that the Eagles' running game is probably the key factor if they win or lose. Regardless of the fact we know they're probably going to get at least 100 yards. What I'm sitting there saying is if the running game is ineffective and Jalen has to throw the ball, then you're really in some trouble. We've seen how rough it was earlier on this season playing against this Buccaneers defense. We have to see what adjustments they've made. Obviously, both of them are different teams at this point in time in the year. He's saying Bucks by 8. If they're within a score, I'm good. I'm good with that. We have other people hopping in. They feeling the Eagles by 9. What are you feeling, Zach? Are you feeling a win or loss, or are you still on where I'm at right now? You just want to see a good game out of Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, I mean, Eagles by 9. Listen, Tom Brady doesn't lose playoff games by like that big of margins. You know what I mean? Like, you might beat Tom Brady in a playoff game, but he's not like it's going to be a 1-score game. You know what I'm saying? Like, barring something absolutely crazy, like, he had the one game against Baltimore, maybe 10, 11, 12 years ago with Ray Rice and Joe Flacco earlier in their career, early on in the John Harbaugh days. I think Baltimore beat them like 41-14. Just kind of housed them from the beginning. I think that was a game where you saw Ray Rice run for like 200 yards in a playoff game. I mean, that is kind of, the type of thing that's going to be your, the type of football you have to play to try to win tomorrow. The way the Ravens were doing it, the way the Jets beat them, beat Tom Brady playoff teams, earlier in his career, that's how you've got to beat him. Keep them off the field, run the ball, control the time of possession, but defensively, like that's where, like, for me, that's why I agree with the poll question. That's where, like, everything's going to happen. You could play them tight offensively. You could run the ball effectively. Jalen Hurts could take care of the football and play smart and not turn the ball over. But bottom line is, if Tom Brady has the ball with 4 minutes to play at the end of the game, you're going to lose. He's going to go win the game 98% of the time. Like, my defense has to be able to create turnovers against that offense, and you got to get to Brady and smack him in the mouth a little bit. When you get to Brady, I mean, that Super Bowl that we always like to talk about, that was the big MO, smacking him in the mouth, right? I mean,
so
you see what happens when you get to
it. Like is somebody like Slay that needs the bigger game, or do you feel that defensive front needs to make a turnover?
The defensive front needs to have a huge game. I mean, your secondary, it is what it is. They're going to be able to hopefully limit the damage, but as Daniel talked about earlier, you're not stopping Gronk and Evans and all these guys. I mean, Chris Godwin's healthy right there. You talk about all these guys, Antonio Brown's missing and all these, but they just seem to find, Tom Brady especially throughout his whole career, it's what he does. Okay, that guy's no longer playing. We're pulling somebody else. You're going to work your way into the offense today. We're going to find a way to get you 5 or 6 catches for 80 yards, and you'll have that touchdown in the red zone with 3 minutes to play when everybody thinks we're going to Gronk or Evans. It's he's got that guy now that's his Wes Welker, the Scotty last name slipping my mind right now. But that's been his guy that's kind of like developed over the past couple of years with him, like the Wes Welker, Julian Edelman type. This is what he does. So you're not going to stop them defensively as much as you're just going to be able to have your moments where if you can get 1 or 2 big plays, 1 or 2 turnovers, a couple, big third down stops, that's where you can keep yourself in the game and have a chance to win. But yeah, I mean, Offensively, Jalen Hurts, obviously, the weather is going to be cold, windy. You're probably not throwing the ball a ton down the field, but this is his chance to prove, hey, do you have enough arm talent to go win me a playoff game, to go compete against the great teams? We know, okay, great. You've beat average teams this year, the below average teams. You haven't beat anybody with a winning record in your entire career. We haven't beat anybody with a winning record this year. And this is, kind of one of those games, if he goes out and has a great performance and you beat the Bucs, there's no questions anymore about whether you're a franchise quarterback. You are, right? Like, regardless of how you make it happen, you are, if that's the case. And it's something like that, you actually made enough plays with your arm for us to be like, hey, good. We didn't just run the ball for 250 yards and hide you back there. You actually made a few throws, in big moments of the game where, wow, we really needed that. That was a great throw on 3rd and 11. When we needed a drive to go tie the game, and you make something like that happen. There's going to be moments like that tomorrow where you can watch with your eyes and say, is he the guy or not? Are we still worried about, going into the offseason, whether or not he's going to be a guy that has to develop the arm side of it, the ability to make NFL throws. He's got a chance to silence a lot of that tomorrow.
I do think those DNs definitely need to get to Brady. They need to kind of cause havoc around him, kind of make him force the ball out sooner than when he wants to, so that you can create lanes for the DBs to try and go after those interceptions. And when we do get those stops on 3rd down where we make them punt or force like a turnover, we need to capitalize on them. We can't just get them to a punt and give us the ball. We need to capitalize, score points off of those turnovers and punts and get ahead in this game. Because if we get ahead in this game, we can kind of make it so that the running game is non-existent. They're down to Vaughn as their running back right now. He's their 3rd or 4th running back on the depth chart. If we can keep him to like a passing team and then kind of use those nickel and dime packages, I feel like we can keep ourselves in a situation where we can run the ball, use a lot of the clock, get ahead, and then sneak out a victory. But we have to be near perfect for that because, of course, it's Tom Brady. When it comes to the playoffs, he's the man. So we have to do anything we can to limit the amount of touches that he has throwing the football.
And it's wild card weekend. This isn't the Super Bowl. It's not, an NFC or AFC championship. I mean, Tom Brady, it's like when you're a GOAT, you do GOAT things, right? Like Michael Jordan's not getting beat in the first round of the playoffs, right? Like you might have a chance. Michael never lost an NBA Finals either, but you knew like going into the playoffs, like for me, this idea of us beating Tom Brady in the first round, I think is great. I'd actually like my chances a lot more if it was next week for the NFC title game. Again, when you're a GOAT, you do GOAT things, and GOAT, like guys like Brady, Jordan, you're not beating them in the first round. That for me, I think is a pride thing on somebody like Tom Brady's end. Like you know what I mean? Like he doesn't just on his end from the amount of pride that he takes and how competitive he is. I just don't see that happening. But you play him close, still, competitive game. You're going to have a lot of fun and be like, hey, I'm proud of how we played. I don't think I need to beat them to come away with like, man, what a performance that was. Become an A2D member. You're gambling degenerate like me, or a lot of other people here at A2D Radio. You can become an A2D member. Join the Money Moss and all the boys that release their picks every Saturday and Sunday. Only $9.99 a month. And a lot of these guys, a lot of these handicappers out there, they charge $100 a month, $200 a month. They're charging a lot of money, right? $50 a week, sort of thing. $9.99 a month. You can't beat it. And it's make appearances on shows, members only streams, things like that. But you'll get your gambling fix with those boys. They won't lead you wrong. They're gonna make you tons of money. You'll make back your membership fee within the first day. Bill Middlebrook here.
And then you get the degenerates like Bill happening here with his question.
Yeah, speaking of degenerates, the tight ends beat us in the first game with no Gronk Evans, only having 27. How do we stop Gronk? Yeah, I mean, you're not going to stop Gronk or Evans. We told you that. You slow him down. That's why I kind of disagree with Daniel saying, I don't want Brady throw. Like if Brady throws the ball 45 times, we lose. Like seriously, like we lose. Like you got to
Don, what's up?
dominate like the time of possession sort of thing and keep that offense off the field in general. Because at this point, I don't really know if they're going to come out and try to play smash mouth football with you in the way that like you'd usually want to when it's a 20-degree playoff game. Because they don't have their two best running backs. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to try to beat us underneath with tons of these little dink and dunk passes the way he does, and yards after the catch type passes. You're going to have if the Bucs are on the field, if that offense is on the field, you're going to have him throwing the ball a ton, I would think. And I don't like my chances if he's throwing the ball 45 times. That means that they're kind of controlling the pace of everything. They get to control the way the game's going, and I don't like that. I want us to be able to control the pace of everything and keep their offense out of rhythm.
Yeah, I'm just saying I don't want them to get the running game going, because if Tampa can get the running game going, that just helps out Brady even more than what he already helps himself out. And if you look at
in the house.
If you look at you mentioned him not losing.
You think it's going to be down to the quarterback? What do you think? Quarterback? We already know the quarterback. Brady's the better quarterback. We already know that.
But you made a good point where he usually doesn't lose in the wild card round. But the two times that I remember that he has lost to, which was to the Ravens and the Titans, it's because those two teams run the ball effectively over 100, 150, 200 yards, controlling the time of possession, just like we should be doing in this game if we can get the running game going early and limited, like you said, the amount of times that he touches the ball. I don't want him to throw the ball, Brady to throw the ball 40 times, but with the top three running backs out, you can only assume that he's going to do that. And what I'm saying is I'd rather stop Mike Evans than stop a guy like Gronkowski, because Mike Evans can blow the top off of our defense. Well, Gronk, he's at the point where he's just going to catch a lot of passes up the middle. I'd rather give him chunks of yards than to give up a long touchdown to Evans and have our DBs play back and still get beat.
I feel like Brady's going to really try to control the middle of the field, attack our linebackers, or lack thereof, I guess I should say. Especially, Alex Singleton, great, like set the Eagles tackle record, can't cover anybody, and Tom Brady knows that, and that's where you bring Gronk over the middle, Evans, Godwin, you got all these guys that you could just, 5 or 6 yard crossing routes, where they find the soft spots in the zone. Brady loves to eat that up. And I could see without having a running game, that's the type of passes that, if you're trying to control the clock, those types of passes can really, almost act as a de facto running game, to help maintain and sustain drives. And they're just, he's been so good at that his whole career, but the Bucs in general have been really good at it in the 2 years that he's been there. And I don't, who stopped, like who's slowing down anybody in the middle of the field? Not our linebackers. I don't think we have good enough safety play. It's a little concerning for me.
It is good to see though that we got Miles Sanders coming back, and they said that there's no limitation. So I feel like we'll be.
I'm not excited about that at all. We're a better running team when he's not on the team. Like, to be honest, I am so sick and tired of this idea of Miles Sanders. Every time he goes out, Boston Scott has a career day. Jordan Howard ends up, it's like, Kenny Gainwell steps in and looks just like Miles Sanders does in the except he can catch the football out of the backfield for me. I don't know if Miles Sanders being in the lineup hurts us or helps us. I really don't know.
But he is that.
Yeah, it helps us until he fumbles the ball, late in the game as we're trying to go tie the game, and he fumbles the ball, at the 30-yard line as you're trying to go score the game-tying touchdown, because that's what Miles Sanders does.
I don't expect him to be like the bell cow, like 25, 30 carries, but I would like to where they can rotate in and out all three backs to kind of keep Tampa guessing what we're going to do, kind of wear him down. And he is the kind of guy that the home run talent where he's going to score a touchdown. So all three backs present different
Exactly. He wants to know who we're calling a degenerate. Bill, are you 5 minutes behind? That was like 5 minutes ago, bro.
They got the Buffalo New England game on. Buffalo got the
they're driving. They're moving right along.
Josh Allen.
Dude, it's it's -4 degrees there. -4.
Here's the question. I want to ask you guys. Do you think he took the Viagra? Did he take Bart Scott's advice?
Listen, I don't know why people were surprised by that, Steven. I don't know if I've talked about this on the show before, but I know I've talked about it on other HUD radio shows in the past. Like that's something that's been around forever. That was an old military trick. I've known like former active, like, guys that when they were active military and stuff like that told me that that was a real popular thing in the military to take Viagra because again, it's about getting the heart pumping and like the blood rushing, and it gets you, to a point where you're real fired up, like, yeah, let's go rip somebody's head off, sort of thing. Like, and Brandon Marshall had talked about it in an interview after an NFL game, maybe a decade ago. I swear, guys like J.J. Watt and players like that fucking took it. Like Lawrence Taylor used to be able to like legitimately snort lines of coke and go out and play. You can't do that anymore. So I think once you couldn't do that, guys are like, yeah, of course. Like, what do you think? It's not normal. Like, it's not normal to go out on a football field and want to be like, somebody get up. So like, I'm not shocked that guys are taking shit like Viagra and legal supplements like that to get themselves fired up. I don't know why. Like, to me, that was funny. But people go, can you believe that Bart Scott said that? Like, what? Like, where have you been? Like.
Now, take away Jalen Hurts. Who do you think is the most important guy to get going on the offense?
Bill Middlebrook said he was waiting for Z-Man to finish to see how high he is tonight.
I guess it would be Dallas Goedert because he's kind of been, Jalen's security blanket. I mean, we've seen the Eagles still have big games, even if you kind of limit DeVonta Smith's input onto the game. He still is gonna make 3 or 4 nice catches to move the chains regardless. But I would say Dallas Goedert. You know what I mean? I think he was like at least PPF is like one of the top 4 tight ends in the league as far as like that goes. We'll see. I mean, John agrees with me.
It's crazy to think that
John agrees with me.
Jeff
saying Greg Ward. Greg Ward's going to be the guy. I don't know.
It's crazy to look at Goddard if you watched in the past month and a half how he struggles on these 5 or 10 yard catches because he's always thinking about getting upfield before he catches the ball. But when you throw him like a 30-yard pass, he catches it like 95, 100% of the time. Because he's trying to just catch it and then he goes. It's like, why can't you just make it so simple where you catch the easy ones and then go and then make the longer ones the harder contested ones? Why is it so opposite? It kind of reminds me of like Donovan McNabb at quarterback where he always sucked at the short passes, but then the long ball he was very accurate with. Like, I just don't get it half the time.
Some people know how to put the touch on the longer ones and that's like one of the things about quarterbacking is just finding those windows, and it's one of the things like Zach's been hard on Jalen this year. Was that good? I think that was good. Yep. 6-0 Bills. We'll see what happens if the Pats respond on the return. We'll see what the
we've talked about the Eagles offense, the Bucks offense. We spent all this time talking about Brady. We haven't.
Oh my God! Don't say that, dude. You're out of your mind, Anthony. Love you. Yeah. Out of your mind, brother.
Let's not even talk about Jalen.
Listen,
I think we need to talk a little bit about the Bucks defense.
If he has an impactful play, I'll be surprised.
He's not going to have impactful nothing.
They still have
him and Umbrella Boy can hang out on the sidelines. And watch grown men actually play. This is the playoff times, okay? The kids. It's like Thanksgiving. You got the kids go to the kids table. The grown men sit at the big boy table, okay, and eat the big boy drumsticks, okay? This is playoff football. It's big boy time. Grown men talk.
I want to see the big boys get after. I want to see Jason Kelce. I want to see Malott and Dickerson and the boys lay into these guys and wear them down. That's what
Did his mom really go on Twitter to defend him a week ago after he didn't catch that ball at the goal line? She's like, he tore a ligament in his finger. Oh my God, get over it.
Well, he's out.
Posted a picture of it to the Twitter account.
Yeah, he's on the IR, so you won't have to worry about him.
We don't got to worry about him no more.
Grown men. This is so weird. You got grown men with mommy. Mommy has to stand up and defend. That's how I know you fucking suck. You ain't gonna make it ever in the NFL. You got mommy stepping in to defend you. Mommy had to come in and defend you on social media because people were attacking you and hurting your little baby feelings. Get the fuck out of here. Thought I traded that guy yesterday. But he can block.
Oh man!
I know in the injury report we got Josh Sweat practiced today, he practiced today, so he's questionable going into tomorrow. So that'll be a big get for us to have him play because it looked like he wasn't going to be playing because he didn't practice for half the week. So for him to be questionable, that's good. And then there's still no word on Levante David on Tampa whether he's going to play or not. If he doesn't play,
huge, right?
Yeah,
that's with the Tampa defense.
That's a bit of a reach, Anthony. But we'll see if it comes to fruition tomorrow.
Yeah, if anything, Quez Watkins will be the guy that has like the big play, like takes a screen pass 70 yards to the house or something.
Like I said, I think if they continue to play with this formula that they did through the back half of the season, who knows what could happen tomorrow.
You use the running game to set up the passing game. That's what it is.
Yeah, I mean that's what they should have been doing. I mean, listen, first and second down should be run. Especially
on the first couple of games.
Depending on how you're doing it, that's how you play. Just play, just give what they take you and continue to beat them down.
If Levante David plays, that's huge because what the Bucs have the ability to do with their athletic linebackers and just how athletic.
But Anthony, it doesn't matter because they're going to be running the ball. They can jam them all day long. Like, listen, that's
that. But the Bucs have the ability with their defensive front and their linebacking play and how athletic and how much speed they have to really neutralize Jalen Hurts in the rushing attack, especially a guy like Levante David. He could spy Jalen and probably be able to, like Jalen, if Jalen's trying to win the race to the
30 mile an hour winds with I think a 30 or 40% chance of rain. That's
we're not throwing the ball down the field. And if we want to run the ball, which obviously that's what we do. Jalen Hurts is a big part of that running, that rushing attack. And if they're able to slow down Jalen Hurts' legs, I think we struggle to win. I think we struggle to move the ball and put points on the board. Period. If they're able to slow down Jalen. Being able to run the read option and things like that is going to be huge for him to be able to, use his legs. He's got to run for close to 100 yards just by himself, I think, for us to have a chance to win. It can't be a game where Jalen's running for 20, 30 yards and we need Miles Sanders and Boston Scott and everybody else to run for 20 yards. Jalen's going to have to go have a huge game with his legs because I don't think he's going to float for 300 yards in this. We're just going to hope that he maybe have a couple big plays through the air.
Listen, if Nick and Jalen and the guys put together a good game, listen, like I said, listen, he doesn't have to be Superman to tomorrow. He's playing with house money. I just think, get out there. You never know what's going to happen. It's playoff time. Anything can happen. People make mistakes. Crazy things happen in playoff football. We've seen it before. The Eagles are 5 of 7 in their last ones were at being dogs covering. So listen, I'd say they are. They're ready for it. So I mean, we'll see how it plays out. You know what I mean?
Levante David is active, and so is Gio Bernard. They just activated both of them 2 hours ago.
There's a chance that you come out and look every bit like the rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, young team that you're not just going against Brady. I mean, Bruce Arians is that's a great coaching staff on Tampa's side. They're very everything about them is. I mean, you've got Arians, you've got Byron Leftwich is going to be a head coach here soon. Todd Bowles was a head coach at one point, right, and could be again. It's going to take a lot to really get to their level and play them tight to start to finish. So it'll be a good challenge for us. Before Alan jumps on here with us, you get 20% off and free shipping with the A2D code at manscaped.com. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job. with Manscaped, or if you're a real man like me, you're like, Manscaped? What is that?
Did you just say Mainscape?
Manscaped. Isn't that what they call your manscaping when you're shaving your balls and everything, right? Like, Alan, I don't know. Alan might not know anything about that, but he definitely knows about shaving his head. I don't know if Manscaped can help with that, but
I don't know what I just walked into here, but
you never do when you're joining
normal
the weekly roundup.
Normal freaking shenanigans for Saturday night here on A2D Radio.
Same stuff.
Well, what are your thoughts on tomorrow's game, Mr. Ford? Mr. Middlebrook here has it as 31-20 Tampa Bay. What do you think? What do you think our boys are doing tomorrow night?
I think that's probably pretty close. Zach, just seconds before I got on, put out a good point about rookie head coach, rookie quarterback, not rookie quarterback, but
listen,
young.
I'm just sitting there saying I want a good game. Like, listen, like don't let them do what they did last time where they had you up by like almost 2 scores most of the game. Don't have it look like make improvements from what happened. Continue to progress both for Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, and continue moving into next season.
Yeah, well, the matchup is going to be, in my opinion, is number 1 rushing offense versus number 1 rushing defense. Something has to give there. Who wins that battle, and that might tell you who wins the game probably. If the Eagles can run the football and do what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, they're going to be in the game for a long time. If they can't, they might struggle. If Jalen Hurts has to throw the ball 30, 40 times, it might be a tough go. So.
See you, Will.
Bill wants to go back to the party to watch the Bills-Patriots game. I mean, we're talking about the 30-mile-per-hour winds and how cold it will be tomorrow. And I think a good idea, I guess, of what that game could be, offensively for us. I'm watching Mac Jones struggle to throw the ball around the field right now with how cold and windy it seems to be in Buffalo. And that's why I don't, want to have Jalen Hurts throw the ball, as Alan's talking about, 30 or 40 times. It's just I don't think he's got the arm strength and the arm ability to zip the ball through the wind and through the cold. The way you need to. Like Josh Allen, the Bills, I don't got to worry about it. He'll sit back there and zip it through any wind. They're not worried about it. You play to your strengths, and our strengths are run the ball, control the time of possession, and keep Tom Brady off the field, and the Bucs offense from being able to manage the pace of the game. As I was saying earlier with Daniel, I want to manage the pace. It's like a fighter in a heavyweight fight, right, in a boxing match. You want to be able to manage the pace. You want to be able to dictate the pace of the fight and have the other fighter uncomfortable. You don't want it the other way around where he's dictating the pace and you're fighting his fight. And if we get into a game where we're pretty much fighting the Bucs fight, we're screwed. We need to get them to be uncomfortable and out of rhythm and try to play the game that we want them to play.
Had a nice play there.
Oh, he dropped it wide open.
He put a JJR thing of Whiteside right there. It was wide open. As you were just sitting there saying he can't really throw it. That was a nice throw there. Wide open right through his hands. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. Dude, he tried to catch it into the body like this. You get the triangle, right? Like, stop that in Kansas. You're playing Sandlot football.
Where I do agree with that, he shouldn't be throwing it 40 times. I do want him to attack the ball down the field to test those corners because I don't think they're the best corners in the league. And they just put Sherman on the IR 4 days ago, so they're going to have a backup in
anyway.
Here's their starter, though, and they're going to have to put a backup in, and I do want them to attack that side to see how DeVonta Smith does there.
Oh, man, his own player.
Well, that's why I said if you're able to run the ball, right, and different things like that, we don't have to throw the ball a ton, but if I can pick and choose my times and take some shots, like if I got Quez Watkins one-on-one on the outside in a mismatch that you're talking about with, against a defensive back that you'd like, Quez's speed against their third or fourth corner, you take 2 or 3 shots and you convert 2 or 3 big plays. You don't need to throw the ball 30 times, but just those 2 or 3 big plays in the passing game will be enough for you to be like, hey, we made enough big plays through the air to keep us in the game and give us a chance to win. I think that's what you need to hope for. If you can get a big play through there, you hit Quez Watkins over the top 50, 60 yards down the field and get a long touchdown or something. You throw the ball 25 times while running the ball effectively the rest of the game, and you take care of the football, not turning it over and all that, you have a great chance to win. You have a really good chance to win. That's going to be your recipe.
I agree there. Like 25 to like 28 times, something like that. You shouldn't throw the ball more than 30 times.
No.
Oh, that was a nice pick. Oh, he took a shot there. That was a nice pick.
That's because he throws a rainbow. This comes back to him not having any arm strength. Like, bro, like, can you throw the ball with like a little bit of zip? I mean, good Lord, he just like lollipopped it up in the air and gave the safety all types of time to run underneath of it. Dude's burnt crispy. Just throw the ball to the back pylon. Oh my God, so terrible.
You gave him way too much time for the defender to get under the ball.
You know what I'm saying? You got to throw that ball to the front pylon or the back pylon. You can't just lollipop it up there like that. I mean, that's ridiculous.
You got to give it enough time for your receiver to get it, but not enough time for the defenders to get over top of it.
Right.
What about you, Alan? You know, you enjoying the weekend off due to the COVID-19?
Not really a weekend off. You know, I went Thursday and Friday. I went scouted a couple of our opponents we have coming up, and I went to the Doane Cherokee game today to support my old alma mater. It came up a little short, so. You know, never basketball seasons. There's never a day off. If I'm not practicing or coaching, I'm out scouting. I'm out watching opponents that we got coming up. You know, watching film, taking notes. You know, coming up with a game plan. You know, whatever the case may be. So, it was a pretty laid back day for what it usually is, but it still wasn't a day off by any stretch of the imagination. So,
how many energy drinks do you consume throughout like the course of a day when you're like doing the grind? The basketball coach life.
I actually have cut way down, and I don't drink like Monster and stuff anymore. I drink so Canada Dry came out with this natural energy drink. It's probably as healthy for you as any energy drink can be. It's called A-Shock or something like that, and Wawa sells it. Natural caffeine and no sugar and all that stuff. So that's what I drink if I need one. And I usually do once every 2 or 3 days if I really need to pick me up. But, you know, I've really
it's not an everyday thing for you. See, I drink like – I was telling Steven, I drank like 2 – I just drank 2 today. Like, good Lord, I find like it's not good for you, man. Like that high blood pressure and shit like that. Like it's apparently
like – from something though, right? You got to die from something.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to fall asleep if I don't drink it, so you got to drink something. But my favorite story was hearing Bobby Hurley Jr., when he was coaching at Buffalo before he left to go to Arizona State, and they did a segment with him on ESPN where he was talking about how he drinks like four Red Bulls a day or something like that.
I mean, there was a time.
I don't know how some of these guys don't have heart attacks.
Yeah, there was a time when I started at Cross Christian and I was driving to the games, coaching, driving back. I would have 2 or 3 Monsters in the course of that kind of day. Driving 2 hours to a game, coaching for an hour, driving back 2 hours. I mean, that's nuts after teaching all day on top of that. So, been there, done that, but trying to cut down on it as much as possible. So,
Mac Jones, by the way, looks uncomfortably cold. Like there's, it's cold. There's levels of the cold, right? Like you've got cold, then you've got like, blistering cold. You've got the numbing type. You can't feel your ears and and your nose and any of your extremities. Right? It looks like it's that type of cold out there. Like it's that numbing type cold where like everything just goes numb. Your ears, your hands, your feet, all of it.
It's cold here in New Jersey, and they're playing up even more south than us. So I can only imagine. -4 degrees apparently is what it feels like, but like some guys, are made better for that than others. -6 degrees now is the wind chill. Like some guys, I feel like if you put me in -6 degree weather, I'm not doing anything at a high level anymore. Like, peace, we're losing this game today. Somebody else is playing quarterback because this shit ain't happening. Not in -6 degree weather. I'm getting myself ejected and I'm going to sit in the hot tub in the locker room. Y'all have fun. Like, it really would be that serious. So I don't know. Like,
Josh Allen, the Bills, I mean, they look like they're like, yeah, like, yeah, it's cold, but fuck it, we're used to this. Mac Jones looks like he wants out. He's like, yeah, like this is fuck me. Like I'm not. I grew up in the South. Like we played in Alabama. It don't get fucking cold like this there. Fuck this.
For what's worth, too, he's a rookie. He's a rookie starting a playoff game. So, it's all put together into one thing.
no.
My first playoff game, and it's -6 degrees. This is fucking brutal.
Welcome to New England Buffalo. Welcome to New England Buffalo.
Yeah, I know. It was never 5 degrees in Alabama, let alone -5 degrees, right?
Exactly. It's different animal.
Yeah, different animal.
I mean, I spend like more than 2 minutes in the walk-in freezer at work at Chipotle, and I want to come out and I'm acting like a bitch. Like, oh my God, it's so cold in there. Ooh. You can't fucking imagine what the hell's going on.
But
yeah, it is true. No, you're right. Yeah, it gets cold in Wyoming too. Yeah.
Well, he said he wasn't even wearing sleeves, right? Did he actually stick with that? He's not wearing sleeves.
Josh Allen's
has sleeves on. Has sleeves.
He has long hair.
He has long sleeves on.
Okay. Pre-game,
he changed his mind with that. But Matt Jones has got the long sleeves. He's got the whole fucking thing that comes up to cover the head and wrapped around the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like yeah, exactly. He's like, dude, like, Jesus Christ. Like, are you cold? Are you sure? Like, oh, no, you're not. Like, not at all. Like, not maybe a little. Like, that's what I feel like if you're like the other team, if you're the defense, you like just sit there like, like look at this guy. Like, he is cold. Like, look, uncomfortable. Like, get to him, smack him in the mouth. He's already uncomfortable. He already hates it out here.
It's kind of an advantage, if you got a guy.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So, speaking of different animal, like Joel Embiid has come out this season and really put this team on his back. He made a comment recently. He's good with that. Where everything at. He's perfectly fine with Ben Simmons being stuck on the sidelines, not getting paid, not doing nothing. He's good where they're at. Do you feel that this trade sentiment? I mean, I know. We talked about this a lot on and off over the last few months. It's getting closer to trade deadline. Are you feeling that it's gonna be a draft day type of thing now more than it would be a midseason trade since we're still already at this point now, and we kind of see it play out a little bit.
I mean, I guess it all depends on what we're willing to take for him. I mean, that's really what it all comes down to. What are we willing to take to just cut our hands from the situation and just move on?
I don't think our front office is not taking anything less than what they want for him at this point in time. They have Ben's cojones in a vice right now, and they're not letting the freak go. Yeah. So I don't blame them for juicing this thing out for every possible the best possible scenario for the Philadelphia 76ers. Keep juicing it out.
Yeah,
they are talking.
Good.
They are talking to the Kings right now. I know they were about trading him, looking at De'Aaron Fox, but I know that's just preliminary talks. And from what I hear, the Kings want to build around Fox and Halliburton. So if we were able to get Fox, I'd be shocked. But I think it's just the Sixers doing their due diligence, talk to as many people as they can, and to keep their options open.
Good stuff.
Because they do want to trade him. He wants to go elsewhere. It's just like you guys said, they don't want to give him up for nothing. So that's where it's kind of in limbo.
Bills are marching again. Bills are marching it down again.
I mean, there's really no point to give him up for nothing, in my opinion. I mean, great, like, yeah, his salary's there, sure, but like as long as you're winning and you play, but like I don't care. Like I'm not giving you up for nothing. Fuck you. Like you can sit at home and not make any money and go fucking broke and look stupid and be the joke of everything. And like,
fly Eagles fly.
There's zero incentive to just trade him for nothing. Like unless he's actually like being such a cancer behind the scenes where it's fucking with chemistry and all that. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Just seems like he's just not in the building and he's not playing right now. And we're taking care of business without him, sort of thing.
The question though is, are we really winning without him? Like, are we like the expectations coming into the season was a 1-2 seed, making a deep push into the playoffs, trying to make a run at the title. Right, what are we right now? 5th seed, I think. Last time I looked. I mean, we're not too far out of it, but we're like the 5th seed.
Well, they had that stretch where they missed it. They were missing a ton of guys with COVID, and Embiid missed like 2 weeks. And
they're 8-2, I think, in the last 10 games or something like that. I mean, they're making a good run and everything.
But they're the 5 seed, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, but the question is, and like I said, I'm with you. I'm not giving him away. I'm not. I don't care. I'm not going to give him away. It has to be something that I'm comfortable with and can help the team.
13-0 Buffalo.
But at some point, the expectations for us was to take that next step and try to compete for a title. So at some point, you got to try to broker some kind of deal there where you can at least get a piece and help win the title this year and then maybe get future picks in the future maybe. I don't know.
I agree if you can get a piece that helps you, but I'm not just cutting ties with them. That's what I'm saying. This idea, I'll trade him for a new, I'll trade him for a new practice, I'll trade him for a new elliptical machine and a couple new, jacuzzi whirlpool tubs for the locker room trainer's room. I'm not, just trading them for nothing. But if I get a deal that I like and I feel like you can at least get a player back, even if it's not a star, like we might have to move past this idea of, trade him for, like you talk about Fox, and the talk before the year was possibly trading him to Sacramento and getting Fox and like a guy like Tyrese Halliburton who's in a similar situation out there. That's not happening anymore. You might be able to trade him for Halliburton straight up, and maybe that helps trade the scenery for both players. Halliburton can give you something, give you something that obviously you're not getting from Ben right now, which is nothing. And he's still a young player with maybe some upside that you try to build around and say, hey, come play next to Embiid and Maxey and see what you get out of it. But the idea of trading them to a place like Minnesota and getting like like one of their young players up there, like that's not happening. Oh, we'll work a deal out with Portland and get Damian Lillard. Not happening. You might get CJ McCollum if you're lucky still, just because Portland's that desperate to be like, hey, we want to move on from that guy and his contract and whatever. We're not winning with him, so what's the point?
See, at this point, I would heavily consider a CJ McCollum deal. Heavily. Yeah,
I would too. I'd give you straight up Ben Simmons, CJ McCollum. I might even throw in something just to make that happen. If I need to throw in, a 12th man or a depth piece or something, a guy from the G League, fuck it,
There was a point where I said it's not enough, but at this point, if we can get CJ McCollum and wash our hands of the situation, I think you do it. And
correct. Yeah, and I'm with you. There was a time when I was like, I need more than CJ McCollum, and I think I'm past that point. I'm to the point where give me CJ McCollum. Put him with Tyrese Maxey and Embiid and the rest of everything that we've got here, and you've got a pretty solid that's a pretty solid piece on this team. He doesn't need to step in here and be like the 1-2 punch that he was with Damian Lillard for a time there in Portland. He doesn't need to be that guy. You're just a guy now. Just come in and be a guy for him.
I think he could be the 2 because CJ McCollum is known for scoring. That's what he's known for. And I think the thing we got to remember with this whole situation with Ben Simmons not being here is the development of Maxey this year. We're basically taking one of our key pieces out of the lineup in Simmons, and we replaced him with Maxey, and he's done a great job filling the role there. Yeah, I don't think he's going to get those assists and the defense and everything that Ben Simmons did, but I think he's going to create plays, stretch to the floor, because now it's not like a 5-on-4 anymore where teams are letting Ben Simmons just have all that space because they know he's not going to shoot. Now it's back to 5-on-5. They kind of have to defend Maxey because he knows how to drive the lane. He can shoot. He can create shots on his own. And it's a different scenario for the Sixers than what it was the past couple of years. So we might not be the 1 seed right now, but I think at the end of the day, we're still going to do good. I still think we're going to be one of those top teams as long as Maxey can keep developing game by game.
Yeah. Now I'm a huge Maxey fan, big Maxey fan.
Yeah, you've always been huge on him since coming out of college. You had plenty of conversations about that.
The other side of this too, on top of that, is now that we know it's a fact that they're adding Tobias Harris into this thing, which I think if that is an actual thing, that might get things done before next season.
But again,
what's the point of that, though? I mean, why trade Tobias Harris? I know he's disappointing. I know you're like, oh my God, we paid this guy so much money, but you can't just trade Tobias Harris with Benson. Like, who are you replacing Tobias Harris now with? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he still plays a role for you that unless you've got somebody immediately that can step in and play that role better, there's no point in moving him.
If that's the linchpin that gets it going, then let it go.
But it's not. He's not. Tobias Harris isn't moving the needle enough for you to get a superstar back in return. Let's be honest. Does Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris all of a sudden make Minnesota want to trade me Anthony Edwards? Fuck no. Like, you're out of your fucking mind. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not moving the needle enough for me to get, great. Like, now I might be able to get Buddy Hield. Well, I'm not, again, it's not moving the needle enough for me to be like, okay, great, I'm bringing in Buddy Hield, who's a shooter, but now I still don't have somebody that's able to take Tobias Harris role. Unless,
exactly,
like you feel like if you got Buddy Hield and Tyrese Halliburton, but you still can't be guaranteed that Halliburton will give you what Tobias Harris does. So, like, I'm in a position where I'm just fucked the Tobias Harris thing. We'll revisit that in the offseason, and then maybe you make a move then and get out of, from that contract. But right now, I've got to find a way, to Alan's point, of just, if we're doing something, you're doing something just to try to add a piece that makes you a little bit better. And I don't think just getting rid of Tobias Harris because, now we don't have to pay him all that money anymore makes me better.
Yeah.
Gives me less headaches, but it doesn't make me better.
We got to remember in basketball, too, you usually in trades have to match the contracts because you can't really have trade. Okay, you got two $40 million a year players here, and then you get back a $10 million player in return. They're not going to allow that. You kind of have to make it kind of 50-50 money-wise, and then by doing Simmons and Tobias Harris together, you're going to have to get a lot back to match that $80 million in salary, and it's going to be kind of hard to do that unless you get a good piece in return. The
only scenario I could really see, and this is a fun one, and I don't think it'll happen, Alan, but I've read some of these rumors going around in a lot of these, like, NBA, like insider rumor circle sort of thing, and the idea that, like, the Lakers and they just we knew when they signed Westbrook, like, they have nobody that can shoot. Like, they've got a rookie white kid from Oklahoma that's shooting, is their best perimeter player because they literally have nobody that can shoot. Him and Wayne Ellington. Like, that's their perimeter players. And the idea that maybe Ben Simmons and Tobias Harris for, like, Russell Westbrook or something like that could actually be a thing that the Lakers would be interested in because it would actually give the Lakers something that they needed in elite defense, elite perimeter defense, and then they'll find other ways to score or whatever. I don't know if it makes the Lakers better, but I also don't know if it makes them worse. Like, really, when you think about it, if you could get Ben Simmons to actually get on the court and play with LeBron, him and Tobias Harris on that team might actually provide enough of what their skill sets are. It might be what the Lakers are looking for that, to help make them a little bit better. And then they also get out of the Russell Westbrook contract, which they're probably like, Jesus Christ, we paid a 35-year-old all this money and he looks fucking shot.
Yeah, let's just entertain the idea that might happen. I don't think it makes either of us better. I think the Lakers still have huge problems with spacing. I think it gets even worse, actually. And then we still end up with a point guard who will shoot the ball but can't shoot. I mean, I'm a big Russell Westbrook fan. Don't get me wrong, that. But he doesn't fit this team. He doesn't fit our needs. He doesn't.
I mean, does he not play well with Embiid, though, him being the slasher type? Yeah, he's not going to score from the perimeter, but he still likes to slash and try to get to the rack. And I think next to an elite big man.
But then you're also going to take away from Maxey's development because they have to coexist, too.
I mean,
and Maxey
can play from the perimeter, though. I mean, you don't think they play well together? Maxey can play from the perimeter. Westbrook's going to be more of a guy that's trying to slash and get to the hole. And then Embiid's just going to dominate and do, what he does anyway. And my only concern would be does Westbrook take away from what Embiid can be? And I don't think Westbrook takes away from what Embiid is.
I think he takes away a little bit because Westbrook's the kind of guy that wants to get the ball in his hands as much as possible. You put him at the foul line. He's the guy that wants to get the ball off the rebound there, drives it down, and he attacks. Just like you said, he's not the best shooter in the world. You want to get the ball inside. You want to work through Embiid and not through Westbrook. That's the thing with the Sixers.
Well, yeah, but Embiid's not going to bring the ball up for you, too. I need a guy in Westbrook who's going to go attack the rim, and when he misses, Embiid's there to clean up and create second chance opportunities. And Westbrook's a guy that's, he gets to the rack, but he's not always finishing at the rack either, right? It's not like he's always a consistent finisher there. See, but you're creating offense that you didn't create before. And Embiid's going to have plenty of opportunities on the offensive glass to clean up and create second chance opportunities.
And then, and then you're taking away from Seth Curry at the same time because who are you going to start? Are you going to move Maxey to the bench, or are you going to have Maxey and Westbrook start, because then there's an odd man out in that
I'll
situation.
play small.
And
I'll go 3 guards like Villanova used to do back in the day. I'll go Maxey, Westbrook, and Seth Curry. They can all 3 play because now Tobias Harris isn't playing the 3 anymore. So you need somebody to play the 3. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. I'll play 3 guards, and we can play small. And then I've got Embiid at the 5, and and you've got plenty of options to fuck around with at the 4 and be real creative. And if you want to get just name fucking name is slipping my mind now, but our backup big man, our backup center, who I should remember his name every single time.
Andre Drummond.
Yes, Andre Drummond. If you want to get him more playing time and play him with Embiid, I mean, there's ways to be creative there, but I'm with Alan. I don't think it happens. I just like the idea. I was like, oh, that's kind of that would be fun. That could be something that you can make a little bit of noise there with that type of trade, but. I'm with you. I actually don't think I don't necessarily know if it makes either team better. I just don't think it makes either team worse. But
I mean, to be fair, you can't.
If you're getting rid of Simmons' contract and Harris's contract, maybe it's worth it at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. See, I know a lot of people hate Tobias Harris, and when we did it, I was like, he's not that kind of money guy. That's a terrible contract, but he is a piece helping us win. He might not be living up to the expectation of the money, but he is a piece that helps us win. He helps us win now. So, I mean, he's not living up to the expectation of the money, but I think everybody knew that he wasn't worth that. Maybe even the Sixers, but the contracts were starting to explode at that time, and you had to keep them.
The idea was that Embiid and Simmons were your 1-2, and then Harris and all these other guys were going to be great, role players around your 2 superstars. And unfortunately, Harris has ended up in a position where
he's now the 2.
Yeah.
Right. They want him to be a superstar. Fans need him to be a superstar, and he's just not that guy. And then they see him with the ball at crunch time, and you need a bucket late in the game to win the game. Okay, well then don't draw up a play for Tobias Harris. That's not Tobias Harris's fault that the ball ended up in his hand with 2 seconds to play when you needed a bucket to win the game. The ball should have never ended up in his hand. Like, the fuck you doing? Draw up a play for somebody else then. You know what I mean? I'm not going to hate on the guy because the ball ended up in his hands with 2 seconds to play, and he didn't finish at the rack to win me a game or tie the game. Mm-hmm. He's not that guy. You're supposed to go to Embiid there, your best player. You're supposed to go to Seth Curry, your best perimeter shooter. Hell, you're even supposed to go to Maxey, another guy who can be creative and finish in different ways. Harris is your 4th option there, and then you're mad when he doesn't get the job done for you.
We can't expect every deal to be. We can't expect every deal to be a plus here. We got to expect to overpay sometimes for a guy to add to what we have, and that's what we did with Tobias. We did pay him a lot of money to play, and he's been a good piece. He's just, we have to be realistic with the expectations of him and know that he's not going to be worth that contract, but he's going to be worth what he gives us, which is that 17 to 20 points, 6 to 10 rebounds, and a couple assists. And then he's really good in the inside when they actually use him on the inside around the post. He's pretty good there, but we can't expect him to be 25 and 12 every day. That's just not going to be his game with this team, because it's the star of the team is Embiid. He's going to be the guy that get a lot of the looks on the inside. We just have to damper expectations with Harris and expect, like I said, 17 to 20, 6 to 8 rebounds. If we do that, we wouldn't be as crucial towards them, because we have over exaggerating expectations on them.
Yeah. Now I like Tobias Harris. I think putting him in the trade with Simmons, I'm not a big fan of it, but I know the reason why we're trying to do that was trying to really unload Simmons, more than anything. But I'm not a big fan of it. I think that's a big piece to move for a team that has championship, aspirations, to move, Simmons and Tobias.
We look at the contract. I think that's the whole point. You look at the contract, you're like, it makes you so mad. And then I answer that like, oh, he's overpaid. Okay, well, like 80% of the NBA is overpaid, because that's just the way the contracts work. Like, they're just out of control in that way. 80% of the NBA, like, you look at players and you go, he's not worth that contract, but here he is making $25 million, $30 million a year. It's just the way it goes. So you got to take that with a grain of salt. And I think people get way too caught up in the contractual side of things as opposed to just looking at a player for what they are.
Yeah, I mean, NBA contracts are exploding. I mean, I forget the Wizards big man that was making like $25 million a year, and he was awful. He used to be the Orlando Magic.
Bogdanovich.
They just gave Davis Bertans $60 million to come off the bench 10 to 15 minutes a game to shoot a couple threes a game. That's it.
Yeah.
He's making $60 million doing that.
He was the he played with the Magic and then signed a contract with the Wizards in the offseason. And it was like $20 million. It was like 4 years ago. And he was making $20 million to be the backup big. And he was awful. He was so bad. I was just like, I can't believe this guy's making $20 million a year to play basketball. I can't remember his name.
Oh, Marcin Gortat.
Oh, Gortat. I do. I remember him. Yeah.
He started out there. I think he went to Phoenix, and then he went to the Wizards.
I mean, he was overpaid too, but
yeah.
Hold on, what was? I'm about to Google it. It's gonna bother me the whole time now.
So
who was the other dude that played Scola, like Luis Scola or whatever, right? He played for the Suns forever. You're like another guy, just like this just steals money. But
then Rockets. Then you had that
the
tall
Rockets
guy from the tall guy from the Pelicans like a couple years ago. He'd always get like 2 rebounds, but then 14 rebounds and like 2 points. I think it was like Anik or something like that. They always paired him with Anthony Davis when he was with the Pelicans. I forget his name. A white guy with curly hair. And they paid him quite a bit of money just to get 14 rebounds a game and not score.
Speaking of not scoring, the Patriots are doing a very good job of not scoring. This game could get ugly in a hurry. I wonder how frustrated Belichick's got to be, because you're like, I mean, you can just tell you're overmatched. You're like, we got Mac Jones at quarterback. You're just not like.
Yeah, it looks like the way this is gonna go is gonna.
He's got to feel like, man, like. Yeah, he's got to feel like, man, like, yeah, we can win and we can be competitive with him. But he's not going to win me a Super Bowl. Like, this kid's no Tom Brady. Look at that throw by Allen. Oh, my God. Back across his body to the other side of the field.
Like I said, you just see that? That's what I just said. It's going to be tough to beat him making throws like that.
That's unreal. From the far hash. You know what I mean? Like, he floated outside the pocket to the far hash and threw all the way back across the field.
I agree with Hank here. The Buffalo Bills will win this football game. They're marching down again.
If Buffalo can play like this, if they've got their shit together, they had that little stretch in the regular season where you were like, what are they doing? Like letting teams like the Jets play them tough and shit. But you're like, if they can get their shit together, they're going to be tough to beat.
It was Ian Mahimi.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was making $20 million a year to be the backup for the Wizards. That has to be one of the worst contracts of all time.
The Wizards have like 5 big men on the roster now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm sure the Lakers are shitting themselves right now. The fact that they got rid of Kyle Kuzma, who right now leads the league in contested 3-point shots.
Yeah, he would have helped. They didn't get rid of Kyle Kuzma. LeBron
did. Yeah, we know who did that. LeBron's so weird. He's one of those guys, like, there's certain players, like Michael wasn't friends with anybody. All he gave a fuck about was, hey, like, if you're a competitor, you're a gamer, you're going to win me basketball games, I want you as my teammate. Kobe was the same way. Like, LeBron wants, like, he needs to be buddy-buddy with his teammates or he don't want to play with you. Like, if he can't get along with you off the court and be, like, somebody that's like, like, it's like he wants all these guys to come over to his house for a barbecue and they all need to get along and then he sit there playing badminton in his backyard and shit. Like, or else he don't want you on his fucking team with them. Like, it's so fucking weird. Like, and he's always been that way. It's such a weird thing.
Yeah. And I saw a post the other day, someone posted about this. They're like, the reason why you don't hitch your wagon to LeBron James, and they're like, look, you'll have some good years while he's there, but he always leaves franchises in complete shambles. And I mean, that's true.
It's the style of play he does. He tries to get everybody involved, but he's the linchpin of the offense. He dishing it out, him shooting, playing defense. He takes a lot of the brunt of the playmaking, and then, like you said, when he leaves, you kind of have that big void there that you have to fill. to fix. And it's
I think he's a
impossible to
selfish
do that.
player. I don't know if I'm the only one that feels that way.
He is, but as a superstar, you kind of have to be selfish in a sort of way to help your team win games. Like Kobe was selfish, he won. Michael Jordan was selfish, he won. You have to have that mentality to be able to take over, be like, I got this. I'll help carry the team, and that's what he does.
Difference was Kobe and Michael did have it. You know, when you shoot free throws in crunch time at the end of the game, and you need to ice a game with free throws, Kobe and Michael made the free throws. LeBron shoots free throws at like a 65% clip. You shouldn't be shooting them, yet you are. It's things like that to me that make, I've got to be the guy late in the game to shoot that shot.
What do you think about Hank's reasonings here? You like Hank's reasonings for the Eagles knocking them out, trying to avenge that loss in 2000.
I'm not worried about shit that happened 20 years ago. This is why we're such an annoying fan base. And Alan, I wish you could keep you around to talk more about this with you, because me and you have had plenty of other conversations about it. But yeah, this is what we do in Philadelphia. We're worried about shit that happened 20 years ago. I was fucking 8, 9. I don't give a fuck about what happened 20 years ago. Like, stop. It's ridiculous. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Alan, we'd keep going all night if we could, dude, but we got another guest in the back about to come on. Yeah. Go keep kicking ass. Build that Board in Town program in the something to be proud of, and keep kicking ass with EXP Realty. Congratulations on the award. I know you posted recently, a couple days ago, whatever, on Facebook about EXP Realty winning an award, a regional award, whatever, for all of your performances in real estate. So congratulations with all that. And keep killing it.
They were voted one of the best places to work for like the third year in a row for real estate by Glassdoor. So like I said, it's a great company. It's all about the realtor. The brokerage is all about realtors. You know, realtors being successful, you know, realtors making money, realtors, you know, making wealth and growing themselves. So that's why I'm there. You know, it's all about it's all about the realtor. The work environment's incredible. My team is incredible. So I'll never go anywhere else. So I'm, you know, as long as I'm a realtor, I'm hanging my hat at EXP Realty, and proud to be there. So.
Well, always appreciate the time, as always, Alan, and I also appreciate the help on my end. Hopefully, we'll get that all situated. I'll give you a proper shout out too.
Yeah, yep, definitely appreciate it. So, like I said, just keep in touch about it, and we'll get it done for you.
All right, Alan.
All right, I'll talk to you guys.
All right, that was our man, Alan. That was our man.
The best game on TV right now is the Tampa Bay Lightning Dallas Stars game. Man, the goalies are flashing some pads and some leather in this one. Vasilevsky just made 2 saves for Tampa that were absolutely insane.
All right, well, get ready for the next one, because here we go. Zach.
Oh, I thought you were bringing on a guest. Okay, Gleason's Bar is located at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue. This is our sponsor for our next guest. Good cheesesteaks, good beer, you know, one of the best places in the Philadelphia area there, just across the bridge in Levittown, Pennsylvania. Use your promo code ATV.
Yeah, we got that.
For 10% off your order whenever you dine in, take out, or online. Gleason's Bar and Steaks.com.
And with that being said, Mr. Nathan Manis is joining us this evening, wherever you're from. What's up, brother? How you feeling tonight?
Everything's good, man. How you guys doing?
We're doing great. We're talking some football, talking some basketball. The Buffalo Bills are beating the brakes off of the New England Patriots. Eagles fans could be asking for more. You a sports fan outside of combat sports, man?
I am, but it's more basketball, man. I'm not really been paying attention to the NFL. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That's all right. Well, who's your basketball squad?
Man, right now I'm liking Phoenix quite a bit. I like D Book. You know, he's solid. Chris Paul is still going. I'm a LeBron James fan too, so you know.
Oh, jeez.
That's all right, man.
You were in the back here to talk all this shit about your guy.
Each one of them, so it's all right. We're all from a different area, so we're talking Bills in New England tonight. So making sure everyone from all the corners of the sports world gets a little bit of something tonight. That's what I love about the weekly roundup. We can talk about anything we want to. Was it 20-0 right now? The drumming that the Bills are putting on the Pats right now. So I think it's safe to say they're gonna have some fun in Buffalo tonight. But I mean, speaking of which, UFC's back tonight. It feels like it's been ages since they put on another event. You liking anything going on tonight?
Oh yeah, man. I'm definitely trying to watch that Calvin Kattar, Giga Chikadze, that main event. I've been tuning in here and there. I know the TJ Brown, that was a pretty good fight. Kevin Kroom and Brian Kelleher, that was a good fight as well. I know there haven't been as many finishes tonight.
Brian's my man. I've had Brian on here a few times. He's a blast, dude. Always singing. He's a good time.
I like watching him fight, man. He's talented for sure.
Yeah. You know, and
So
you're
who's this
and
big fat guy in the UFC fight, by the way?
Was it?
It's Sherman and Collier.
Sherman and Collier.
Yeah, the co-main event.
I thought Daniel Bakley, or you know, I thought my co-host was fine. I turned it on. That look, Daniel looks like you. If you were like fighting MMA, like
I'll take the pay. I'll take that.
What do you call him, Collier? Because he definitely don't look like Sherman.
yeah, he's got the Collier look to him.
I don't got those abs, so
no.
Yeah, and then a a lot of stuff's been going on. What do you think about the stuff that Henry Cejudo is trying to put some pressure on Dana, trying to demand title shots? After what was it, almost a year and a half being retired now.
Man, I don't know if you guys seen the quote. I could probably paraphrase it for you if you haven't, but he made a lot of good points. He's let GSP come back and fight for a title, then leave.
The middleweight, when the Bisping fight, right?
Yeah. Henry Cejudo is as accomplished as they come, from his gold medal and, two-time champion and 35 and at 125. Yeah. If anybody deserves it, I mean, he's got to be right up there at the top.
See, this is what I would do all fight long if I'm Collier. Just lay on the guy. Just fall on him and lay on him.
Listen,
now, you can't get up if you're laying on him.
Be able to do that, man. You got that top pressure in that wrestling to be able to control him and throw these elbows.
Yeah, there you go. Just sit on him. Now he's going to fuck him up. Elbows, hammer fists.
He's doing a good job.
He's in trouble. It's about to be over, Steven.
Nah, we'll see. Listen, sometimes you got this position, you can't hold it sometimes, man. You start saying, look, he's about to get out. Oh, no. Now you're in trouble. Now you got the fence to push you off.
I picked Collier. Is he winning?
Collier's fucking him up. He's busted open and everything.
Nice. Good stuff.
Collier's on top of Sherman and taking shots right now.
Going for the rear naked choke.
Yeah, he might got him now. He's got his back. Yep, you got him.
Tapped out. Yep. Collier with see that. What does it say? That was fuck. Once he got on top, man, it'd be hard for anybody to get out from underneath of that. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, too much weight for sure.
He messed up this timing on that when he pushed up against the fence. He couldn't get out of that. Once he gave up his back, it was over.
So that leaves the main event left with the Giga and Kattar.
I'm hoping Calvin Kattar pulls that one out, man. I like his boxing. He's slick.
Yeah, he's definitely the guy that likes to get in there and just throw with his opponent. And it's just a matter in that fight if he can get inside of Giga and those kicks, because if Giga can keep the distance, it's going to be hard. But I do think Kattar has a chance because he likes to just bum rush, get in front of you, and just start throwing at you. And he's never been knocked out. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
Hopefully it doesn't go like the Max Holloway fight, man. That was hard to watch.
I still can't believe he got hit 370 times.
Yeah, man, it was ridiculous.
Yeah,
and stay strong the whole time. Yeah, he can take it.
So I want to see how he does after that now. See how he took that. See how he does to get back into fighting form after that, because that has to be hard to come back from that, start training it again, and then not have any pressure of having anything from that. Like, he came back in, he was like, I'm ready to go. I hope he doesn't overthink it and be like, I'm afraid to get hit now because of how many times he got hit in that fight. But
I think it's more mental than physical for sure. I don't think the pain of taking 300 shots, I don't think that bothers him at all. I think it's more kind of being embarrassed in there, man. Max really showed him a new level. I think that's more probably what he's thinking right now than just the shots.
Do you think he might second guess himself a little bit because of that, or do you think he's just going to go in there and have faith in what his game plan is?
Man, I think it's hard to say until we see him, but I think it could go either way, man. You see people have those kind of mental breakdowns in there. But I think Calvin Cater, I think he's a Boston guy. I think he's pretty headstrong, stubborn. I think he's going to go in there and do what he needs to do.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the fight coming up. It looks like they're getting ready to walk out in a few minutes after they do those packages. But I know I have a question for you. Like, I know you get this all the time, but what was your introduction to MMA?
Oh, man. I started watching around the GSP Matt Hughes era. That might have been, 2010, 2009, 2008, somewhere in there.
That era was probably what? UFC, like 60s.
Yeah, I'm 30 now.
Time, like UFC 67, somewhere around there.
That's
right when like the Matt era Hughes was slowing down and GSP was starting to kind of ascend.
Yeah, those are the first fights I really remember. I was about 15 years old, somewhere around in there. So it's been a long time. But yeah, man, the short story is me and a couple of buddies, we started watching GSP fight, and we decided to go outside and have like a little fight club type deal. And we'd really just beat each other up every Saturday morning. And then I started actually training, turned out to be all right at it, and that's how we ended up here.
No, I've been keeping track of you since you've joined the UFC and then a little bit of your regional scene. And I've noticed that you fought at bantamweight, featherweight, and lightweight. What made you choose bantamweight? Because I know nowadays you got guys who are trying to figure out what's the right division for you to compete at, because with cutting weight and putting weight on, it makes a big difference with you in training and how you perform. What made you pick bantamweight?
Yeah, I walk around in shape about 152 to 155. I did my whole amateur career pretty much at 145. Made the big cut once I started actually getting paid to fight. 35 is pretty easy for me to make. I fought at 55 on short notice a few times, just for challenges, on the local scene, just trying to get my name out there. And sometimes going up a couple of weight classes can do that for you. But 135 is super easy for me to make, man. I'd like to bounce around. I like to just take challenges where they come.
Now, of course, the last fight you had was the fight with Tony Gravely, where you get popped near the end of the first round. You survive, you come back, and then you finish him. I believe it was in the second round. It caught me by surprise. I thought you were almost done. You came in. It seemed like you just hit like a second wind. You attacked him. It was a great performance right afterwards. What did your coaches tell you in the intermission between the first and second to kind of get you hyped up, get you ready to go back in there? Because you definitely seemed like a different fighter right after they talked to you.
Yeah, man. I think it's not necessarily what they said in between rounds. It was more about just getting my feet underneath me and just kind of shaking loose. The bad stuff that's happened and focusing on the good stuff. But it's the training camp leading up. I've been with my coach for 11 years now, and it's all that combined into this one moment. He's as stubborn as they come. We like to think that we're pretty tough. We're not going to get, scared of the moment just because you got dropped one time. I'm still there. He didn't put me away. I'm still here to fight. And not necessarily what happened in between rounds, but just all that build up into that one moment. You got to put me out.
How's the jaw doing right now?
It feels good. I haven't been punched at all since my fight September 18th. I just got back into grappling and wrestling and doing all that stuff. I'm completely cleared as of early this month. So we're just now getting back into it. I plan on sparring here in the next couple of weeks, and hopefully everything goes well.
Are you working on getting a fight booked sooner rather than later, or are you just waiting to hear back from management?
Yeah, the UFC contacted us about fighting in April. I told them I would love to fight in April, just depending on how the sparring goes. They told me they'd like me to be 100% before I agree to that. So they're going to wait to book me probably here in the next couple of weeks. They're going to wait and make sure everything works out.
Did they throw any names out, or can you not say?
They didn't. I wish they did, man. That's the most exciting thing, man. 1 through 50 in the bantamweight division is just stacked. So yeah, I'd love to get a name.
That's one of the things I wanted to say. Like you're part of this whole new wave that's coming in. Like as you're talking about, like how you came in during that GSP and Matt Hughes era. Like some of the guys that are coming in from 35 to 45 to 55, and I've been sitting there touting a lot of the guys just from the Philadelphia area that are in 170 and 85, etc. that like it just the influx of guys that are coming in are great. You know, you have yourself. You know, we've already had guys like Pat Sabatini here on the show. He's another one of these young crop of well-rounded mixed martial artists that are in the UFC right now. You know, it's going to be interesting to see how the next year or so plays out in all those divisions, from bantamweight to lightweight. It's just it's a Shark Tank right now.
No, I agree, man. Cyril Gahn at heavyweight. Me and him fought together at TKO. He's only been fighting a couple years, man. Look how far he's come. Sean Brady's another guy at 170.
Dude, I love that. That dude is going to be a champion in 2 years. Yeah. I've been saying it. His grappling is insane. His cardio is freaking ridiculous. You know, when he was coming up as an amateur, like my kids was fortunate enough to be training at Daniel's gym, and he was throwing the heavyweights around like rag dolls. And that's when he was I think like only his second, third fight as an amateur. Yeah. You know, that was 5 years ago. Here he is on the run to the UFC. I mean, I think he has the skill set to beat the current champion, Kamaru Usman. He has the skill set. It's just a matter of getting the right wins together to get up there to get that fight. I think that's a scary fight for him. How
do you think Sean Brady versus Khamzat Chimaev goes?
See, dude, because their grappling is so like that. Like I would rather want I don't even want to see punches. I would want to see them at flow grappling, just grapple.
I agree.
I think it's going to come down to conditioning.
So, like, dude, because once you put an MMA into it, like they're like obviously there are different forms of grappling. You know, obviously his is a different form of Russian Sambo. While Sean is more of a wrestler that has a higher level black belt under his hand. Has having a guy like Daniel Gracie and some of them guys to be able to work with. But I like you just sit there and said that's probably the matchup. I don't want to see that coming up. I want to see it for a belt.
Well, working on?
I still think Sean is probably like a year ahead of him. If Sean loses, you know, if he gets stopped at some point in time in the next year, then that's something we might have to entertain beforehand. But I still think within 2 years he'll be the champion. But that fight you're talking about, that's going to happen, and that's going to be an amazing fight because they're like neither one of those guys know how to quit. They'll die in there. Like those two are animals, and like it's one of those things that we'll probably see that inside of that time frame too.
Yeah, man, I agree with you. I don't think they're going to set them up anytime soon, just because they're such big studs, man, and they're young and they're just getting started. I think they're going to keep them fighting the veterans for now, and hopefully they both win, and we do see it once it's in a title shot.
Yeah, with those types of matchups, I think it all comes down to conditioning and how you can go later in the rounds, because those guys, I still can't believe that Chimaev has only been struck one time in 3 fights. That's just amazing with how many of these wars that you get to see in the octagon. He's only been hit one time since then, and then you got Sean Brady with it seems like he can take you down real easily. I think one of the things that he has to work on is keeping the guy down, not allowing him to get back up. But like you also have to throw in Bilal Muhammad in there after that performance he had against Stephen Thompson, where he just demolished him with that wrestling game. Like, I knew he had the wrestling game, but you never saw it in the octagon in the UFC because he didn't really use it as much. And I thought it was the perfect time to do that. And he's been the only guy to really be like, I'll fight Chimaev. I'll fight him. But like, I think he's in like a standstill because I feel like once you break that top 10, there's usually like a log jam where you got so many guys that break the top 10. You got to wait for a fight. For you as a fighter, how would you feel breaking the top 10 and having to wait? Like, are you the type of guy that wants to fight as soon as possible, or are you willing to wait for the right matchup?
No, man. We haven't turned down anyone. Whoever they want me to fight. Like I said, 1 through 50 is so stacked. 50 has just as much a chance as beating you as the top 10 at this point, man. Everyone's so good. I just want to mention you brought up Bilal and Wonder Boy, man. I had a 7-fight parlay that night, and he hurt my feelings.
The betting degenerate comes out.
Now
Oh,
we're
man,
speaking my
Bobo.
language.
Yeah.
That card I didn't do well on, but that is the one fight that I did do good. I did have him by decision, and I was scratching my teeth there, hoping that he got it, and he got it. So he did recover some money back for me there with that because I had him at really great odds there. I was surprised that he was that much of an underdog in that matchup.
Yeah.
But he did recover some of that for me. Who has been a fighter that you've like watched that's just been like you've been just like wow, like I want to learn something from him because he's just amazing in the octagon.
Man, throughout the years, I really like TJ Dillashaw. You know, I like his we call it the Dillashaw step at our gym. You know, he hits that little fake and then he comes up high with the high kick. I've really taken a lot of stuff from him. If you're talking about like real recently, I really like, you know, I'd love to fight him, but I really like Sean O'Malley's style. I like Adrian Yanez's style. They're really precise, long strikers. I'm pretty long for the division as well. I think me and Sean have the same reach, same height. So I've been trying to take little parts that they do here and there. Man, that's about the only people that have really been in. Ciryl Gane, I mean, I know he's a heavyweight, but the way he moves, you know, it's just different. He's really patient, lets guys come to him and then counters them. There's so many good guys, man. You could pick a million people, honestly.
Who do you got in, next weekend's main event, Gane or Ngannou?
I'm going to go with Gane, man. I think he's going to do similar to what he did to Derek Lewis, avoid the bombs, keep him guessing, mix it up. Gane's got a really strong jiu-jitsu game as well. I think he has a heel hook in the UFC, I think against Dontel Mays. If he gets Francis on his back, man, I think there's a lot of problems there that a lot of people aren't paying attention to. And I feel like he's going to win the striking, too. You just got to stay away from that big right hand.
His distant management is just next level there because I've watched him and I'm like, geez, how does a guy who's only 8 or 9-0 in the UFC do so well? And then I looked into it, I'm like, oh, this guy is 8-0 in kickboxing, 8-0 in Muay Thai. Like he's fought in several levels and he's been able to just mix it all up into a great game plan, fighting from a distance, mixing up those the jab with the leg kicks. He knows how to get in and out. Like he's a heavyweight, but he literally moves like a middleweight. That's what it feels like. And I think that Derek Lewis fight showed wonders because Derek Lewis, I felt like I'm not going to say he quit, but I wouldn't be surprised if he did because he had nothing to answer for. Like what was it, round 3, and he was down 83-3 in strikes. Yeah, and it was just throwing haymakers. It's just crazy to see how he does. Like, unless he gets hit with a bomb, I don't know if there's any other scenario than Gane winning.
You touched on it for a second. Me and him were in the same locker room. I think he was the heavyweight champ, and I was the 135 champ up in TKO. So we actually warmed up in the same locker room. And I wouldn't even say middleweight, man. He really moves like a 155er. He's very, very quick. He's super light on his feet. Surprised, you know, I'm a small guy. I feel like I'm at least averagely fast, and he looked really, really fast, man. I can't say enough good things about Ciryl Gane. I really think he's going to outclass Francis if he doesn't land that big right hand. I think it's going to be a shock to the world, honestly.
That's always the equalizer.
He's gonna shock the world. I love it. I love it, Nate. I love it. I hope so. You know, especially with the rumors that Ngannou wants to kind of roll out. I would love to see new blood in there. So you don't really have to have that question. You know, who's next? What's going to happen next? Things of that nature. I love it when you have things that happen of that nature, and especially like you're saying, the guys. You came up with him on the scene. He's only been doing it for a few years. It's awesome to see guys pick it up and be able to get to that level extremely quickly. Now, I know we flip things around with you. I want to get a chance to get Bobo on because he's free now. What I typically do right here at the end is kind of throw the proverbial microphone over you. Nate, anyone you'd like to thank, training partners, teammates, shoot out your social media sites, any sponsors you might have, anything you're doing outside the octagon you want to let people know about, you want to get people involved with. The time is yours, my friend.
Yeah, man, I'm getting quite a few sponsors now, which is a good thing, but I kind of got it broken up to my newer and older. Today's going to be some old sponsors, man. Being in Construction, Baker Chiropractic, Team Lynn, Ape Ethics, Max Custom Completions, Mural Painting, All Custom Roofing, man. I appreciate you guys helping me out so I can do what I do full time. Shout out to Fighting Autism Indiana and God First, man. I appreciate all you guys.
Appreciate you for hopping on tonight, Nate. Appreciate you for moving things around since we kind of got mixed up with Bobo. He's going to be on here in a minute. Best of skill. When you do get the next fight lined up, we'll get you back on here again to talk some more MMA, talk some more life, etc. Have some fun. Appreciate the time, everyone. Nathan Maness is going to be a big name at 135 pounds. Keep an eye out for him. Hopefully, you get some more sponsors and be able to kind of really take care of your training and go to the next level, my friend.
All right, man. I appreciate you guys. I'll definitely be back on. Hit me up.
All right. Appreciate it. We'll definitely get you back on here, Nate.
All right. Sounds good, guys.
All right, everyone. That was UFC bantamweight Nathan Maness. Definitely going to be looking forward to seeing what that can do. And see what his future holds. But if you didn't catch his fight, as Daniel was talking about, hurt big, early in his last fight, wound up surviving, getting back to his stool, getting the big knockout over that guy. Kid's 14-1. I like what I see from the kid.
So do I. I think the one loss was just like a regional scene one, but he's had 3 fights in the UFC, and each win has been a different way: a decision, submission, and a knockout. So he showed a lot of diversity with how he wins his fights, and that's usually a good thing with a fighter because then you're not relying on a certain way to win. And I think as long as he progresses each fight like he does, I don't see any reason why he doesn't make the top 10 in the next year or two.
Yeah, I mean, he listen, especially when you like we were talking about when you have that turnover and things like that, like you're starting to get a whole new wave of guys in. It's really it's really cool to see. You've done enough of these where you see the guys come up through the local scene and kind of progress. I was lucky able to see that with a few guys. So hopefully we can see some more of that with Nate, but getting ready to change gears again real quick here. Zach, let's get this last one out the way, my friend.
Fan up. Another, for us degenerates out there that love to, bet on things, fantasy sports, daily NFL contests. Fan up is the best way to enjoy your fantasy sports. They've got the daily NFL contest. You win great prizes. You sign up today with the promo code A2D, and you'll get 5,000 bonus points. It's a $50 value at fanup.app. So, I love it, Steven. This is the type of stuff it gets me. It's perfect for us at A2D. You might be like the least degenerate. Is that a word? I don't even know how to say it. Like of all the degenerates here at A2D Radio, I think like you might be the only person that's not. 90% of the people here at A2D Radio and 90% of the people that follow us are fucking degenerates. Okay, don't let them lie to you.
Yeah, exactly. But with that being said, get our man on here, Mr. Bobo O'Bannon. Appreciate the time this evening. Obviously, appreciate Nathan for switching things up. We were able to get you on. You got a big fight coming up. Was the 29th? Co-main event there, Mr. Alan Belcher. Big fight there, big name for you. Is that the fight you were really looking forward to, or was there a few other names on that list?
Man, I really don't care. I gotta be honest with you. I really don't care. As long as it's somebody across from me wearing different color tape on their hands, then it don't matter. We'll make something happen one way or the other.
Yeah, it definitely should be a fun fight. At least that one thing about Allen, he's always a gamer, so it should be a fun fight for sure. That's for sure.
Oh yes, sir. Yes. I sparred with him a couple times way back when. It's not even relevant that we've sparred before, but it was way back in like 2008, 2009, and he was trying
his UFC run, right?
He was making the comeback. He was making his comeback. And he was there, and I'll tell you exactly when it is. You can look it up via this way. But there was a fellow there. The whole reason why I was there is because they had a slightly large fellow they wanted me to come spar with named Wes Shivers. And so I went over there to spar with Wes Shivers, and that joker's got doggone tree trunk forms. But we me and Wes, we sparred a few rounds, and then I think me and Alan ended up sparring a few rounds, and so it was a good time, I reckon. At the time I was absolutely nobody from absolutely nowhere, and it was cool getting a spar with them big name fellas.
Hey man, definitely looking forward to seeing this matchup. Definitely awesome to see this one. Co-main event slot there in Biloxi, right? So definitely should be a little bit louder, right? Or is it Mississippi?
Jackson, Mississippi.
All right, there you go. But you should have a good home crowd there for you, right?
Man, I sure hope so. I know everybody's got to work, and Jackson's like 3.5 hours from right here where we are. And, I got a huge fan base and friends and family in Mobile. And, it's about a good, 4.5 hours from Mobile up there to Jackson. So I hope, I know that there's some people that's going to be able to come watch because there's been a bunch of tickets sold. So, I hope they ain't buying tickets just to buy them.
Hey man, listen, I know you got a good following. You're gonna have a lot of people in your corner. Obviously your wife's your biggest fan. You'll probably hear her over everybody. Yeah, she's always there. Is she gonna be there for this one?
Yes. She. I told her, no, you probably don't need to make this one. That's a long drive, and you don't do good making them long trips and everything. She said, well, I guess it's like your fat behind is gonna be pulling over a bunch then, don't it? So we'll be making a bunch of pit stops along the way for old fat girl.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah,
that's right. That's exactly right.
I got to ask you, how did that auction go? I sent you the jersey and the posters. How did that auction go?
I know this is gonna sound crazy. This is gonna sound super crazy, but my wife handles all that. Let me tell you a quick story, and you'll understand why my wife handles everything. Once upon a time, I had a fight coming up against Arnold Adams, and so they wanted me to sell tickets, and he told me how many tickets I was getting. And I made a post on Facebook. Hey, this is what I got. This is my PayPal, my Cash App, and I can accept money via Facebook Messenger. So y'all get after it. This is what I got. I get off work. I've got like $15,000 between Cash App, PayPal, and Facebook Messenger, and I don't know who any of it belongs to, because how email addresses are. You got Little Daddy Dip Dizzle, and I don't know a Little Daddy Dip Dizzle, but that's what his email address for PayPal is or whatever. So and it was my wife had to be in Mobile at the time. She had some serious health stuff going on. Her hands were starting to swell, and they was thinking that maybe there were some clots in there that was it was losing circulation to her hands, and if it would have got any worse, she could have lost her hands. So we had to stay with my little cousin Tammy Barnes in Mobile there, and so yeah, I forgot where I was going. I'm sorry. I got this dog on.
Why she runs everything.
Oh yeah. So I had to go down there. That's right. I had to go down there and give her my phone with all my passwords and everything. Look, figure out these tickets. And so she was like, all right. But ever since then, we found out that it'd probably be best if she handles the auctioning jerseys and stuff that people send us and all that. So she does handle all that, and man, I work. I get off work. I come home and I train. Take a shower. I'll be able to spend about an hour and a half, 2 hours with her, and I'm right back in sleep so I can wake up the next day and get ready to do it again. And she tells me, gives me all sorts of information. I ain't gonna lie, she does. She tells me all kind of what's going on and what happened and what we got and all what we got to do and all this jazz. But man, I just I don't.
She's your right hand, man. Literally,
yes.
Figuratively.
Exactly. I've been hitting the head a whole bunch, man. I ain't got no memory left.
Now, Obviously, again, big fight with Allen. We had him on a few months ago. One of the things I always thought was interesting about bare knuckle is just like it's kind of like the unspoken rule. Like some guys are juice or don't. Some guys are just absolutely they're just made for this sport. It doesn't matter if it's enhanced or not. Are you one of these guys that I don't care what this guy's doing in training camp? I'm going to put my hands on you and you're going to go down.
Or
does it really not matter to you?
I'm fighting Alan Belcher, ain't I?
Fair enough.
I don't care. If you need to bring your little brother with you, bring him on. We'll find somewhere for nice and easy for him to land to.
Hey, listen, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that. For the most part, you guys already know what you sign up for. It don't matter. Like you said, you got to bring your little brother. You got to bring your little brother. I still wouldn't bring my hammer no matter what.
Right. You can bring a whole bunch of them. Y'all can make a line, come one at a time or all at once. I don't care. We'll go ahead and take care of it either way you want to do it. And man. I'm joking. I'm peeking. I'm being very facetious towards the whole subject. Sincerely, I don't care, man. Sincerely speaking, who cares if something? Let's pretend for a second that Allen is doing steroids. I don't know. I have never talked to him. I never asked him, so I don't know. Let's pretend that he is. So, if I can fight, I can beat him. If I can't fight, I can't beat him. As simple as that. And them, as far as I'm concerned, them steroids, they give you a little bit more of a oomph or whatever. But man, it don't make that big. It can't possibly make that big of a difference. I'm saying it don't. I don't have no experience on it, but it can't possibly. I'm that fat boy getting up there. I got a spare tire right around my belly button region. There's pretty boy muscle and there's working boy muscle. And I ain't never had none of that pretty boy muscle. I used to try to, but I could never build none of it.
So he's like the Collier fight earlier. See, that's what I was saying. We were watching Collier whip that dude's ass earlier. If I'm big like that, I'm just going to lay on the dude. Just fall on him and then lay on top of him. You in good shape. It's hard for big guys like you. That's where you want people, right? It's going to be hard for them to get out from underneath you once you got them, on the ground like that.
Yeah. I'm man. Heck, why not? We'll say it. I'm sorry, Coach Jason. I'm busy getting in trouble here, but whatever. We're just gonna come out and attack, man. Be like a doggone bull in the china cabinet. We're just gonna come out and we're gonna attack, and we're gonna put on about 30 seconds worth of a massive onslaught, and then we'll sit back and see what's left and see what else we need to do from there.
So all I gotta say, if you guys are tuning in January 29th and you're ready for this fight, make sure you get the popcorn's ready. You go to the bathroom beforehand. Don't blink, because
that's right. just in case you forget the bathroom or whatever, bring you a couple rubber bands or ponytail holder or something. That way you can pinch that thing off for a little bit. You're gonna not want to miss this one. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Alan's a big old strong, quick, fast, athletic fella. I'm a big old strong, fast, quick, athletic fella. Man, I can't sit here and tell you I'm gonna go in there and just dominate him and just whip his hind end and knock him out real quick. Look, I might be the one that goes in there and gets knocked out real quick. You don't ever know, man. This is a fight. It's just like
it's just those few inches right here, right? That's all it
takes. Yeah, exactly. It's like football. Sometimes you're the one that lays the huge licks and knocks people out the game. Sometimes you're the one that woke up laying on the field not knowing where you was. So, it's the nature of the beast, man. And that's what makes it so fun. That's what makes winning so rewarding. Well, that and better money.
I know you got some stuff up there you want to get in there, Daniel. Go ahead, brother.
I know you had an unusual way of working on your jab. Can you tell me how that came about, working with Jason Williams? Because I know I read that you worked on it through FaceTime, of all things, which is How did that work out?
So, look, Jason Williams is my trainer. Jason Williams lives in Wales over the United Kingdom over there. And whenever I get off work, I'll get home, and we'll usually start training about 5:15 p.m. for me, which means it's about 11:15 p.m. for him. And I'll set my phone up on this little stand I got right here that I've got my phone set on right now. And well, I'll have it set up for the FaceTime, the selfie FaceTime. And I'll have my little headset on. I don't know if you can see it there, but I have my little headset on or whatever. And so I can hear everything Coach is telling me. Now, I could turn and look at my phone every now and then when I absolutely need to, which is getting less and less the more time we spend training together. But I don't have to see Coach. I don't have to look at him to know what I'm supposed to do and know what he's telling me to do because the relationship. Yeah, exactly. So whenever I come back to the corner, there's so much going on in the corner that I can't sit there and hold the phone and look at it while they sitting there working my cuts and, getting bloody boogers off of me and all that jazz, I can't sit there and look at my phone. So all I got is these headsets on, and I'm just listening to his verbal instruction. I can't see nothing that he's telling me to do, but I hear it all, and it's just strictly via verbal instruction. And so that I wasn't sure about it. I was like, man, this ain't gonna work. If it's getting my brains beat out, I'm not gonna be able to see what's going on. And this guy, it's just I was skeptical. But we went and fought Zach Calmus, and we put up a fight of the night performance, and pretty well dominated the fight. Now we did get hit a bunch, and that's something that we quickly went to work on. But I feel like I made improvements on that with Rumsey. I don't feel like I got hit near about so much. But, it's Coach. Coach watches me via FaceTime. He tells me everything to do. And so I got to get verbal instructions from him because it sucks. I'll be over here about 15 feet over in this direction. And then I'll come back and I'll look at the phone to see what it's saying and walk 15 feet back over there. I do something else wrong and I got to keep walking. I'm not going to walk back and forth. I'll just stand there and make him verbally explain it to me, and he will make me understand it, and it's just a way about clear communication with one another. And that's the same thing that happens in the fight. So, if that's what I've got to do in the fight, it would be stupid for me to walk over there every time during training and look at my phone to see what he's trying to tell me,
Yeah, well, after your last two fights with Calmus and Ramsey, I'm sure that those changes that he has made to your striking with the jab has worked wonders since you got 2 wins both by stoppage and by KO. So he must be doing something right.
Yes, sir. Look, I'm going to let you know something real quick. I've been hitting the head a whole bunch. My memory about what it used to be. So I forgot about the whole jab thing. I knew there was something. That's why I was fumbling around. But before Coach Jason, I would throw my jab with my elbow coming up here like this, and extend my punch like that. Well, I knew that if I could find a way to bring my elbow straight up like this, it'd be a lot quicker and I'd be able to put more power on it instead of doing this. So I was trying to figure it out, man. I kept on hitting just these 2 knuckles, my ring finger and my pinky finger, whenever I was trying to throw that jab, and I couldn't figure it out. Coach Jason fixed me in 5 minutes. He said, look, take your hands and do like this. And that's what you need to do. And just hold your hands like you're holding a knife in a stabbing position. So I get here like this, and whenever I throw that jab straight up, my fist lands flat. And man, it takes less energy to throw that jab. The jab's a lot quicker. I can put a lot more power on it, baby. I can make it longer. I don't hurt my elbow if I throw it and I miss. And that was the very first training session. That was the event that let me know, what, this is what it was meant to be. Me and my wife, we prayed about it. Whenever I thought I got the message, we prayed about it, and kind of, Lord, what we need to do. This seems a little far-fetched and out there for us, but what do we need to do? Well, we both got an easy feeling about it, and so I messaged him. I was like, look, we'll give it a shot. I can't make no promises to you how long it's going to last or anything like that, but we'll give it a shot. On the very first day, he showed me what I just showed you with that jab there, and man, it's been amazing ever since then, and nothing but steady progress ever since then.
So it's just all about the placement of your knuckles and where you're landed it off of. That's crazy to think that just that small of a difference would be huge for your jab. It's crazy, and then he was able to spot that just on a FaceTime call, let alone in person. So that's perfect for you. I'm sure you were just happy that you were able to fix that, and then he was able to help you out doing that.
Oh man, I was ecstatic that he showed me that, and that we fixed that and got that figured out. And then he told me about this graph. I need to lay out this grid. I need to lay out on the floor. It's 3 squares wide by 6 squares long. And he sent me the dimensions to him in in metric, and I had to convert it over to our dumb old American standard, and lay my grid out on the floor. Well, so I laid the grid out there, and that was the footwork grid, the matrix he calls it. And I'm here to tell you something right now. That grid right there is where it all starts. That footwork is where it all starts. I've always had decent footwork. I've always been decently quick-footed, but go back and watch these last 2 fights now, man, and go back and watch the last 2 fights, then go back and watch the Mike Kyle fight, the one that I actually won. You can see there's a massive difference in me. And that's no jab being thrown at my trainer that I've got over here in America, because he lives an hour and 15 minutes one-way drive from me. And it's pretty ridiculous to try to justify driving 2.5, almost 3 hours round trip 3-4 times a week to go train with somebody, and I know that's what needs to be done. I mean, honestly, I work a full-time job. I'm fighting professionally on pay-per-view television. That's not highly recommended either, but I got to do what I got to do, and so I couldn't go see that trainer over Mobile. So I posted a status about, needing to find a gym closer, needing to find something, make a change because this ain't working, need to find something that will work. And then Coach Jason Williams reached out to me via, from Boxer Tricks. And me and Coach Jason, we'd already been talking for a couple weeks before that. And he was like, "Hey, mate, look, I see you looking for a new trainer or something new. I train fighters via FaceTime. Let's give it a go, And then, like I said, I told you earlier, me and my wife prayed about it and everything, and that's how all this come to pass. Now I've got my best friend Eric D'Angelo. He goes to the fights with me, and he corners me. What he does to corner me is he puts the headset on and he FaceTimes with Coach to where Coach can see me and he can see what Coach is doing and saying or whatever. The instructions that Coach tells him, he hollers out at me. And usually whenever I get them, they're about 3 or 4 seconds too late. But I seen where they applied at. And so next time around that it happens, I already know what's going on, And so he'll sit there and hold the FaceTime or whatever. I come back to the corner. He'll set the phone down because we ain't got no room in the corner there for it. And I put the headset on me. And, like I said a couple times already, I didn't think it was going to work. But, man, we're making history here and I'm making progress. What else can you ask for?
Is that something that you had to practice, like in training, just going back to the corner and listening to him that way? Or is that something that you just tried at the fights just once and that's all you do?
Look, man, I'm a very spontaneous person. I'm spontaneous almost to a fault. And so Coach was like, "How are we going to do this, mate?" I said, "Well, I'll see about getting the Wi-Fi password up there at the building. And we'll let you, I'll have Easy in the corner with me, and he'll hold the phone and give me the headset when I come back to the corner. I'm not going to be able to see you, but, explain the whole gig to him how I figured it'd work best." And he's like, "Okay." He said, "I feel like we do pretty good." He said, "Because you don't hardly have to come back to look at the phone to get the instruction I'm giving." He said, "So I feel like we'll do pretty good with that anyways." I said, "Well, I do too." And, history tells that we was both right,
It's all about communication. It seems like you guys communicate very well with that, because if you didn't have communication, you guys probably be struggling with that. But I'm glad that you guys are able to make it work, because it's had a profound positivity on your career so far. Of course, 2-0 in your last fights, like we mentioned before, and he's been able to help you fight crisper with the striking. How has your wife been with your fighting now? I know she wasn't the most keen on it. Has she kind of warmed up with it since then?
Man, look here. Look, I'm going to let y'all know something 100% God's honest truth. Lord Sharp and dead if I'm telling the story about it. My wife is my best friend in this world. She's the best friend I've ever had on this world here. But we talk about everything. Look, I'm telling y'all so much so where if a female sends me a message via Facebook or Instagram or whatever, I let my wife know. You know, if a female sends me a text message, I don't care who the female is. And, you know, outside of my mama, anybody else, I'm letting my wife know about it, you know, because I don't want her to, you know, see my phone all of a sudden. But who is that? Who is she messaging? You know what I mean? And it's a respect
Happy
thing,
wife,
man.
happy life. That's why.
Yeah, exactly, you know. And she don't trip out. It don't matter who it is that messages me. She don't flip her lid or nothing like that, you know, try to cause a scene or be like Jesus and start flipping tables, you know. She keeps calm and she understands, you know, that there's nothing I can do to solicit anybody to message me. But if somebody just randomly messages me, you know, that's nothing I can do about that either. And it'd be just like, you know, if some random female hot chick was to message you, you know, I mean, ain't nothing you can do about that. You can't help, you know, that somebody stepped out of line or whatever. But my wife does know that every single time it happens, I'll let them know. We'll spend the time. I'm like, yes, I'm glad you messaged me. Actually, I was looking for somebody to talk to my wife about. And I'll spend my entire time on there with whatever female messages me talking about my wife. But you know, we decided that I talked to her about this fighting thing. Told her God was laying on my heart. She said, "No, I told you before we got married that if you was ever going to fight again, we didn't need to get married." So we was in church one day, and man, it was on my heart heavy. Like, I mean, I felt like God was literally sitting right there telling me in my ear. And my wife, I was trying to ignore it. I said, "Lord, no," because my wife said that I'm not going to be able to get married. You know, not sorry, not going to be able to get married if I fight, you know, and so that takes fighting out of the question since I was married now. Man, look, I want y'all to know it wasn't 2 minutes, like 120 seconds later, she nudges me. I lean down to her. She says, "Look, I don't like what I'm fixing to tell you, but God's telling me that you need to be fighting again. And I don't like it, but that is what he's telling me." Man, look, y'all ever seen 387 pounds of man just go to jumping, crying? Man, I had the whole doggone pew shaking. I was crying so hard. And she was trying to ask me what's wrong with me. Ain't no way, ain't no way I can talk about it. Then we got out in the car, and I told her, you know, how it was laid on my heart. And then all of a sudden, next thing you know, 120 seconds later, she's nudging me to tell me the same thing as what I was being told. And it's one of them things where I felt like that maybe somehow I was trying to make it. I was trying to force it. You know what I mean? Maybe it wasn't so much the good Lord telling me. Maybe I was trying to force it to happen. And so we got to talking about it, and her and I did. And her response to me was, she said, "Well, looks like you better get your fat butt in shape then, don't it?" So I went to training, got in shape, and went and fought Mike Kyle about 3 months after I started training.
So one question before we throw it over to you and let you get all your sponsors and you know, shout out anybody you want to shout out, but just to have a little fun. There's been times throughout, you know, the show when you've been talking, I couldn't help but think, man, this guy sounds a lot like Boomhauer from King of the Hill. And I wanted to know if you've ever gotten that before. Has anybody ever told you you sound like Boomhauer?
No, only about every other day. It's on the odd days of the week I get Boomhauer. On the even days of the week I get Rocky Balboa. And my wife.
Look, I can actually see the two of them together. Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, kind of a hybrid or whatever. My wife, we first started dating, first started talking. Look, this is something I want to let y'all know too. Me and my wife, we started talking. We found each other via Plenty of Fish, and on December the 19th, rolling over into the wee hours of the 20th, and we got to talking. We met in person, and next thing you know, here it is, January 15th, less than a month later, where we tied the knot and got married. And so, yeah, I've never in my life have I ever been a fella what is quick in a relationship. No, I didn't want to, you know. I never really had a, desire to be quick in any relationship. When this joker comes along, And man, she'd make me nervous, give me butterflies when I was around her. I'd pray about it, and the more I'd pray about it, the more the butterflies would go away. And so, but we first date we met at Walmart. It was the first time she met me. I had a friend. We had a mutual friend that I had bring her to Mobile, and we met at the Walmart there. And then we went over to the TGI Fridays and eat dinner at TGI Fridays. Look, this joker gonna look me dead in my eyes. She said, "Okay, I got something to tell you, but you can't be mad. You can't get mad at me." I'm like, doggone, here we go. Another one you kind. You know, we ain't known each other less than a week and a half, and you already finna just, you know, sink the boat already. She says, "Have you ever been told that you sound like Rocky Balboa?" I was like, "Lindsay, if you don't get this girl and get her back to McLean, Mississippi and out of Mobile, I'm gonna throw her." It sounds like Rocky Balboa, but yeah, she's been all over me about that. And I've heard the bomb hire from several different guys at work, you know, who come in doing these shutdowns or whatever. But most, man, look, I'm embarrassed. Oh well, whatever. I'll tell you about it though. When they said bomb hire, all I could think was bomb hire wings, the restaurant. You know, the fat boy image took over. And I ain't never been one to watch Family Guy a whole lot. So whenever they was telling me about that, I was like, you know, I need to go catch a couple episodes of this right here, you know, just to see what they're talking about. And I couldn't be upset at them anymore whenever they told me that. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Screw you and your truth. You know, I mean.
Sometimes you can't fight it, right? It is what it is.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Exactly. It'd be like 2-on-1 in the BKFC. You just can't win that fight 9 times out of 10. And so you might as well just go with it, you know.
Oh, Bubba, really appreciate the time tonight. As Zach was mentioning, you know how we end these things, man. Throw the proverbial microphone over to you. Anyone you'd like to thank? Shoot out your teammates, your social media sites, any sponsors you may have, anything you're doing outside of the cage as well, charities, anything like that. The time is yours, my friend.
Man, I appreciate it. I want to thank a good sponsor of mine, Duke Bohannon and Aaron Gates with Wicked Fabrications. They've come through for me big time. I had to be out of work with COVID here a little while back, and I was 3.5 weeks without a check. They let me come work for them and, you know, make some side money. I'm very thankful for them. We got the guys at Combat Kings, you know, helping promote us, helping put our name out there. We got Matt Zifferblatt with Healthy One Inc. That dude's a genius when it comes to the diets, the supplements, and all that. I'm trying to pull off the top of my head. I've been hit a whole bunch. Hold on one second. I'm called fat girl in here. Britt, go get a run now. Hurry, fast, run. Look, see, I got to talk to him like that sometimes. But I tell you what, we're gonna have us a walk. Why not? To save her from having to get in here. It'd probably take her an hour the way she walks. Yeah, night.
We get the walkthrough.
Yeah. To walk through the house. Yeah. Hey, sponsors.
Oh!
Yeah.
No, they also
Right. She almost acts as if she could look any better any other time. What did you say, baby? All right. Tell them hello.
No, stop. No, wait.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to let you know. Look, Ratchet? You say Ratchet? Yeah, they said Ratchet. Poo poo? No. I knew she looked terrible, but I wouldn't say poo poo. They said poo poo. They said you look like poo poo. Hurry up now. Come on.
One more.
Gee, Mom, you see this? And this is the manager right there doing
He
that.
can't keep anything together. I've gave it to him 10 times.
All right, then. All right. Jason Williams with Boxer Tricks. That is quite obvious. That joker is doing great for me, by me. Like I said, Aaron Gates and Duke Bohannon with Wicked Fabrications. Look, they build them mega trucks. I don't know if you've ever seen or heard of them mega trucks that do that racing. Damn babies are bad to the bone, man. And they actually let my goofy behind go over and work on them with them sometimes. Let's see. Nick Sampson with HKA USA with the trunks, you know. That man's got some amazing trunks. I don't know if y'all seen my trunks last time. Shut up, stupid. I don't know if y'all seen my trunks last time, but they was amazing. And it come from Nick Simpson, HK USA. We got Thomas.
Simpson.
That's what I said.
You said Simpson.
I said Simpson.
You said Simpson last time.
She can't hear, and she's dumb. Ain't that something? All right, so anyhow, back to what I was saying. Thomas and Steph with Circle T Designs, they make our sign for us and shirts for us. We got Brittany Carino with B-Lid Organic. She helps my wife a tremendous amount, helps me with vitamins and different rubs and all. We got Chris Mizell at the Amazing Graphics. Look, I don't know if y'all seen some of the graphics this fellow's made of me. He's good. He knows what he's doing. We got Knuckle Up Media pushing my name out there too, and a great group of guys there. Great guy. I really like them. We got R&J Home Repair, William Vaughn Jr. with On Point Embroidery. My buddy's making my hats for me. And good old fella like him. He does a good job for us. We got Ryan Longmire with Taxes in Time. He's recently had to help me out, and I just cut it short by saying that I'm an absolute idiot when it comes to taking care of my taxes, and shut up, stupid. And Ryan has helped me out tremendously there. Combat Kings TV, they helping push my name out there, get me to a broader audience. Britain's Battle, my wife's 427,000 diseases and illnesses that she's got. Look, y'all, she's got all these fibromyalgia, dysautonomia, testicular cancer. She got all kind of stuff going on, and she still. This joker's look. It ain't that bad, to be honest with you. And she wants me to come home and cook dinner sometimes. I'm gonna have to trade her in. She's what are you, 32?
Yeah, you can get rid of me now.
She's 32. Return policy's broke on that one. But my buddy Jeremy Smith with J Smith Construction, he's come to the house and done some work for us here at the house. Man won't let me pay him a thing, driving all the way an hour and a half from Mobile to come do it, and I'm greatly appreciative of him. He does good work too, by the way. And Gary Lang with Puzzles, Tumblers, and more. Man's made a couple tumblers for us. Huh?
All Heart Warriors matter is what he's getting out of heart disease awareness.
And sometimes it's like I don't even know if she's talking or not. Is that English? But Gary Lang is with All Heart Warriors Matter. He's his daughter actually has heart disease as well that's causing her major complications, and they reached out to us on account of my wife having major complications, and the man's whole goal is wanting to get some awareness to heart diseases out there. Look, man, with that thing right there, can you see it? Yeah, that thing right there, with her and all her diseases and heart diseases and nerve diseases and all she has, man, I'll help anybody who wants to get word out there about the heart disease.
It's safe to say Jeff enjoyed the interview tonight, Bobo, because he's saying this is the greatest interview ever.
Come on, I appreciate y'all. Look, y'all hear that? Yeah, I gotta live with that now. Y'all gotta listen to it. You see that? Look at it. She about to break the couch. She's so big and mountains, so hold on while she's laughing. Good. Look, y'all ain't got to deal with that, but for just a few seconds, I got to deal with that my whole life. The return policy is up on this, and I can't even send her back. I mean, what in the world, man? I should have read the back on this one. You know what I'm saying? I should have read the back of the box on this one. I don't know what I was thinking, but whatever.
That's how they get you.
Yeah.
Mine didn't have a return policy either, and I got stuck with her. 7 years, and here we are. Had to move out of state. We left Jersey to come to Florida. Man.
I think that the three of us should all know, just because how our significant others are. Once they come into it, there's no return policy. We can't return you. You can't return us. You're just stuck.
Exactly.
That's what it is. They trap you right in the web of love, and it's like you can't get the fuck out after that. It's like when a spider traps its prey.
Yeah. She put her little love mitts on me, and them little love mitts are sticky as everything. They won't let me go. I'm about ready to beat the fire out of her, so maybe when she knocks out, I can take the mitts off of her and get away from her. But
oh man.
Yeah. Thanks. I really wanted that. Look,
really
that's
appreciate
my
your
ball
time
and
tonight,
chain.
brother. Like as always, man. Best of skill in the upcoming matchup. Hopefully, you get your hand raised. You get another step closer to get a crack at that title. I know it's kind of one of those things that I would hope is on your bucket list for 2022. Correct?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, man, I don't care who you are in this heavyweight division. There's so many new, and Alan Belcher is 1-0. He beats me, could be in lines for a title shot. And so, yeah, I hope everybody in the division, everybody in the fight game, period, in the BKFC has intentions of making it to the title. If not, then why are you doing it? So, yeah, I do. By the end of the year, I do want me to be in there taking the title. I ain't fighting for it. I want to take it. I want to bring it home to Mississippi with me.
Well, I hope you get your chance. Again, as always, best of skill, brother. Do your thing. Win, lose, or draw. Get home safe. Appreciate the time as always. Same with Britt. Appreciate you always keeping his big lug in line as well. He needs some help. No matter how much he don't want to admit it.
You hear that, Pat girl? He said, "Thanks for keeping this big lug in line, even though he needs it and don't want to admit it."
You're welcome.
She just did some little disgusting. She's so repulsive. You know what I mean?
All right, bro.
Huh? Tell him I'm joking. Tell him I love you. Okay, I'm joking. I love you.
Well, we love you over here at A2D Radio, Bo.
I love you guys, and I love her.
Appreciate the time. We'll definitely catch up again some more in the future. Definitely gotta revisit this one. Hopefully the next time we'll get Britt on too and get some more last minute out of you.
Yes, definitely. Look, if y'all want to, and after I get this win on the 29th, we can get me and Fat Girl together, and we can sit there and just cut up for a little bit.
Hey, sounds good, man. Let's do it.
Yes, sir. Yes, that's beautiful.
Well,
look,
appreciate the time. Best of skill. Have a good one, brother.
Thank you, sir. God bless y'all.
God bless you too.
You too.
All right, everyone. That was Bobo, the Bible brawler, Bannon. A great one. A fun show tonight, man. We were already freaking 11 minutes past. Man, this dude's freaking hilarious. Not to mention that he's not half bad of a bare knuckle boxer as well. No. Big fight coming up again. January 29th. The fight night there for BKFC. Definitely going to be a fun one. Him and Alan Belcher. It's going to be fireworks. I guarantee it. Obviously he's quite a character. If you missed this interview and you stumbled across this one, it's definitely going to be one of the ones you're going to want to root for a guy like Bo and his family. Always appreciate his time. But your guys' final thoughts before we wrap it up. I know these last two just wrapped up that whole hour. Buffalo Bills are now stomping the Everlands, not out of the New England Patriots, 33-3.
Calvin Cater defeated Giga Chikatsuke.
Yeah, he not only defeated him, he whipped that ass. I mean, good Lord.
I think they gave Giga the first round or first 2 rounds, but then Cater just demolished him the next 3 rounds. Giga was all bloodied up. I didn't expect it to be that bad, but congrats to him on winning the main event here. I'm looking forward to seeing who Nate Maness fights next, of course, in April. He said earlier that he expects to fight in April. And then, just like you said, good luck to Bobo on the 29th.
Here's a troll too. Here's a troll job right here. The end of the show.
No, I mean, listen, it's.
Of course,
I get it. Listen, I get it. There's still questions. Yeah, I'm happy with the kid's development. I'm happy with the steps that we've seen him take this year, and it is what it is. I mean, but I don't think he's going to be like. I don't think he's Dan Marino. I don't know, what he is.
Well, no,
but I know he's shown me enough where he's earned next year, and he's at least showed the ability to work hard enough and have enough, I guess be able to develop enough where you're like, I haven't given up on the idea that he can develop into a franchise guy or what I think he needs to do to become a franchise guy. I don't think he is the guy yet. No, he's still not our guy. Dom, sorry, he's not, but he's much closer to being our guy than he was 6, 8, 10 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We just got to remember that this is his first 4 years as a starter. This isn't like he's 3 or 4 years in and then got thrust into this. We got to remember he's only 23 years old. He has room to grow, and if he can win tomorrow, that'll be a great step. But if he doesn't, we still got time. We're barely paying him.
It all depends on how you look. If he looks like Mac Jones tomorrow, the way Mac Jones is looking tonight, then maybe I got questions. But
like I was sitting there saying, if you're an Eagles fan, don't concentrate on a win or loss tomorrow. Concentrate on a good game from the developmental game from Nick Sirianni, from Jalen Hurts, from the rest of this team. If you see that tomorrow, win, lose, or draw, you should be happy about what you have going into the next season. That's what my hope. That's what my plan is. If they win tomorrow, absolutely, I'm going to love it. Still going to be behind this team. If they lose tomorrow, I'm still going to be behind what the future of this franchise is. Jalen Hurts is bright. That offensive line is bright. You got three first round draft picks. You got cap room to go fill a hole here or there. If you don't wind up getting a guy that you want in the draft, there's things you could do with this team. There's a reason to be excited about this team moving forward. Is Jalen Hurts a freaking franchise quarterback right now? No, but he's somebody you could possibly win within the future. We can see what happens. You can see the writing on the wall. He's not somebody that's going to throw the ball 45 times down the field and throw for 400, 500 yards a game. He doesn't have to be that in this offense either. Let the kid progress. Let's see what he can potentially be, and then let's make the adjustment if we have to. You don't know if we're going to have to. As hard as we've been on him, we still sit there saying this guy can still win football games. We haven't sitting there saying that, would we like his arm strength to be better? Yeah. Would we like some of his throwing guys open, things of that nature? Could that be better? Yes, but those are things that he can still progress upon. Right or wrong, Zach?
Yeah, he can. It's like I said, it's 8 weeks ago. We were ready to move to Gardner Minshew. You know what I mean? We're like, okay, I'm just done with this.
I think me and you were probably one of the few people who are like, it's a one game. Relax. One game. Relax. Listen, and me and you were probably two of the guys who were probably the hardest on Jalen during this time. So I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow afternoon. We'll see if this kid's for real or not. These are one of these games that shows us if these guys are legit or not. We'll find out. We're gonna see. Youngest Eagles quarterback.
I need to see how he plays against good football teams like the Bucs tomorrow. I know he can beat bad football teams. I know he can beat average football teams. I've yet to see him beat a good football team. And
Daniel, final thoughts before we wrap it up, brother. What do you got?
I'm just looking forward to seeing the game tomorrow. Just like you said, I want to see them work on all three spots of the field: offense, defense, special teams. I want to see how these young players show themselves tomorrow. It's all about the development, not necessarily the game. But if we could pull out the victory, that'd be huge. And we just like I said before, we just got to remember that he's developing quarterback. You see these running, passing quarterbacks, they might take a little bit extra time to develop compared to the stereotypical normal quarterbacks out there that sit in the pocket and throw. So we just have to keep that in mind. So as long as he just didn't look horrible like Mac Jones did in the first half, I feel good with the future. We just have to give it time.
Joseph, I don't think anyone has seen the blowout coming, but appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. A great one, Zach down bottom, Daniel to my right, Alan for hopping on. He's going to obviously be hopping on and off here, throughout the month, touching base. Great interviews tonight with Nathan Maness, Bobo O'Bannon, obviously, one of our funnier ones that we've done here. We'll be back next week. We got two more guests next week. Local fighter, another bare knuckle boxer going to be joining us. We never know whoever else we might throw in from now to then. Other than that, I'm Steve. That's Zach. That's Daniel. We'll be back next Saturday night, same time, same place. Make sure you guys are locked in. You got in this very ring guy should be coming on tonight. We got a lot of stuff lined up to tomorrow. Money Pop Boys tomorrow morning. You got the Rant Booth guys tomorrow morning as well. Before we have Eagles football, don't change the channel right here at A2D Radio. We got so much stuff planned for you guys.